What's up, YouTube? Welcome to Second Wake. This is episode 13. 13. Oh my
Lucky.
God. Lucky number 13. It's like I opened a miniature Pandora's box in the 13th episode. I think that's fitting. I think that's good game design. Good game design. That's what I'm going to pray. Let chaos reign. What happens if... Oh, don't ask that question. You don't want to... Don't ask questions you don't want the answers to, Bucky. Don't ask...
It's a
don't
simple
ask
answer.
Yeah, man.
Just
don't
go
worry about it.
shopping.
Then you're your own dad. Worked for Marty McFly. Worked for Fry. There we go. For everyone in YouTube, we just did a big discussion about our community challenges on Twitch. If you want to see what's happening over on Twitch, please feel free to come check us out. Monday nights are not always ideal, but if you want the full, uncut, unedited version of our game, it's on Twitch. I edit down probably half an hour to 45 minutes out of the game on YouTube. That way it's an easier watch experience. We cut all the breaks out. I cut some of the slower moments out. If it's just people being like, for like 5-10 minutes, I try to cut that and trim it. So yeah, for everyone watching, thanks for hanging out with us. On the holiday week, we are a few days out from the big chubby guy. If you are not of that, the solstice just started. So if you're a witch or a Wiccan, a warlock, etc., all about that solstice. If you're Irish or Scottish, I was told that was also a thing that you guys were all into. If you are of the Hebrew faith, congrats on another successful Hanukkah. I didn't hear about anything bad happening during Hanukkah, so awesome. Came and went in a flash. So that's how that goes. For everyone who is checking us out or doing whatever, welcome to Second Wake. We are a Dungeons and Dragons game, just a home game that I run with people that I think are cool. And we play Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition, and we play in a homebrew setting. And welcome, I guess. If you think we're cool, then we're cool. Okay, great. That's that. I don't really have anything to like shout out this week. I got like it's like really hard to show off. I can't. Here we go. I got a tattoo. That was cool. It's very swollen and very painful. Because it's a lot of black ink. So yeah, it was cool. Past that, tis the season to get a bunch of cookies. So I'm getting sent in. Ooh, where are we at? Cookies. I have to like just put it in front of my face because I know it's in my face. Cookies and all kinds of fun stuff. So yeah, anyone have any shout outs, recognitions, stuff to say before we get into it? No? Cool. All right. We're still not sponsored. We're still ready to shill. If you have something you think we should talk about or whatever, then let us know. Yeah, easy is and simple does. Oh, what do you got, Colt? I see your hand up.
Elon Musk, I know I wasn't here last week to say this, but I still want a Tesla. I know everything going on, and all I want is to drive one of your beautiful vehicles. That's all I'm going to say. And Danny DeVito, I would like to have lunch if you're watching.
Oh, now we're getting lunch with Danny DeVito?
Yeah, that's part of one of my cue cards.
Oh, Jesus.
I mean, if I can't have the Tesla, then I at least want lunch with Danny DeVito.
Jesus Christ. I'm going to turn you down to 100%. Finally, everyone's volumes are coming in today. It's awful. Yeah. I honestly would junk punch you for the opportunity to steal a lunch with Danny DeVito. So that's just how that's going to have to be. Just straight. Like, are you Joel Ramos? But yeah, that's me. It's me. I'm that guy.
Don't say my full name on stream.
Oh, sorry. Everyone follows us on Facebook and whatever. Hi, my name is Kareem Zamir. Sometimes I go by Josh Padra. What's up? Hi. Nice to meet you. Hi, nice. Cool. Now we're evensy squares. That's my fault. So who cares? For everyone tuning in, again, just goofy, fun nonsense. We play Dungeons & Dragons, etc., 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 etc. I feel like I'm rambling, so let's stop rambling. Let's get into it. So I was gonna do this really funny thing where Colt wasn't here, but we uploaded the YouTube video really early, and I was gonna be like, Colt, what happened last time? And be so impressed that he could tell me what happened last time, even though he wasn't here. But that was giving a lot of credit to a bank that has a bad credit score. So we're not gonna do that, and instead I'm going to let's ask JJ. JJ, what happened last week?
Oh boy, let me get to my notes.
Oh my God, I might have to kill JJ. You have a bad microphone. Why is this?
My microphone is really bad right now. I
Oh my
apologize.
God. How about, hold on, I got an idea. Tell us what happened last week using Orville's microphone. This is why you get players that are married, so that when one has technical difficulties, they can just be really cute like penguins and then still do things. So it's technically free content because now they have to get all snuggled up, and then you guys still get the same story. So isn't that great? I think it's great. There we go.
Everybody, I'm over here today, apparently.
Boom. Look at that.
So we ended up docking and jumping off the boat.
This is an 18+ stream. Docking is fine.
What did we fight again?
What?
Oh, we fought a big ol'
Troll.
Uh,
I mean, we fought
Not
two.
sure.
There's one sitting in the DM seat, and then there was one in the cave.
oh.
Shadow wolves.
We Oh, I also almost died.
Yeah, you did.
From a bang stick. That was really fun. But then we fought trolls.
Docking and bang sticks. I like it so far. Okay.
We killed them. Thank goodness.
Yep.
And then we went past, and we did not quite find entirely Colt, but we found poor Wilbus.
Oh, we found Colt.
Oh, we
We
did.
found Colt at the end, yeah.
Okay.
He was handcuffed at a gunpoint.
Ah, yes. Well, we found Wilbus dead. And then we heard the whole entire poem type thing that JJ had once heard from a gnome that she found in back home in the city. And it was King under the mountain, his light may hang low, but his sun shall rise, and the earth will ascend to heaven. So, yeah, that is what I have written down in my notes.
Yeah.
Works for me.
The only other thing I've got is Vel almost froze to death, and I used Bucky as a windshield.
Yeah, that works.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With that new friend at the end too.
Tons of new friends. All the new friends.
Oh, yeah.
They had a boomstick pointed at us and a half-dead Colt beneath them.
Whoa, half dead. Can be all dead. Depends on how Colt feels about it.
I didn't want to assume.
Oh, that's fair. That's fair. So, he's only nearly dead. That's how that works. More or less, we are correct. Thank you, JJ. Thank you, Orville. I do appreciate the teamwork makes the dream work. It's a good way to start. That way, we're getting in the mood for it. Yeah, for everyone tuning in, they fought wolves. There was a troll, a lot of dead dwarves, a dead Wilbus, a handcuffed Colt, a secret tunnel, hidden messages, and one moment last stream that I, on purpose, as a DM, I'm going to pronounce this word wrong, but I had to look it up like 4 times. I obfuscated? I can never pronounce it right. But I intentionally, obfuscated. I intentionally obscured. There is a reason why, is because much like my dwarves, much like many of my other races, I use certain accents and voices for certain characters. And I didn't want our players to know the race or identity of a creature until this week. So, bringing us back in. We will fix that today. You, the Weaver's Chosen, find yourselves in the back of the cavern that you previously encountered and dealt with the kind of ferocious ice troll that had clearly encountered and otherwise defeated much of the party that Lord Sirius Busrund. I'm going to try to make this as quiet as possible. Yeah, that'll work, I think. So, that was hired on by Lord Sirius Busrund. I'm just going to mess with this like 500 times. There we go. That was hired on by Lord Sirius Busrund. You find yourselves in this cavern. The troll lay dead in the snow in the antechamber before you. In this back part, you can see much of the crushed metal, broken armor, discarded, torn, and battered weapons, the bodies that have previously made up the regiment of contacts that the Lord himself had requested meet you for this serious encounter and journey. Upon searching the area, some of you came across a number of items that seemed too clean or otherwise out of place. You collected those things or relieved many of the recently departed of their coin. After examining the room, the Lord himself found a message scrawled on an old stone wall and managed to utilize a passphrase to activate this arcane ability of it and reveal a secret door. However, when the door was revealed, the location of Colt Honeycutt was found laying at the feet and boots of a creature holding an item not too dissimilar from that the Lord carries within his own coat. As you come into contact with this individual, they raised this long metallic rifling at the group, and they declared, and now we will fix my obscuring bit. Let's see here. There we go. User, in the name of Her Majesty Queen Grinhild Sazor, House of Colquill, I ask that you put your hands in the air and state your business. And you hear this groaning in and out from behind a metal faceplate. What do you all want to do? And that is where we're going to start.
Does my mic sound okay right now?
Yeah, sounds good.
I'll start with a history check, see if I can recognize that name.
Sure, go right ahead.
Can JJ also roll one, please?
Yeah, go right ahead.
18.
18. You search through your memory of what you know of nobilities and nobles. You do not recognize the name of Queen Brynhild Caesar. You do know, with an 18, that the current sitting lord and ruling king of Iskander has been known and is of the family Kasser. You know him most likely to still be King Aldrun Caesar.
What was the last name that they said? It was Queen Grimhild?
Queen Grinhild Kasser. C-A-S-U-R. Kasser. And you know that Kasser is the current royal name of the king under the wilds. The actual dwarven king.
So it's the same last name.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And JJ, what do we get?
I got a 15.
15. Yeah, much of the same. You recall bits and pieces. You know that when you hear the name Kasser, you're like, oh yeah, that's dwarven nobility. That's the actual last name of the king under the wilds. Oh, right. And it kind of flows back to you. But you've never heard him having a queen, much less a queen who belongs to a house of Colquill. So this seems like a curious thing. The individual in this heavy suit of armor with kind of leather bits that move throughout the formation of the suit, and these weird kind of glowing ethereal green jeweled eyes. You can hear clicking and various hissing sounds as bits of steam seem to emanate from the back of this brass boiler on the back of this individual. They aim this very long metallic item in both hands directly at you. You can see a metal boot lean over and press down hard on the chest of Colt, who is currently sat with his hands in metal cuffs and seems to be at this person's mercy. You can see that Colt and his armor, he seems to have a number of wounds, likely not from this individual, from what you can tell. They seem to be kind of in the same scope as the troll. He is stable and conscious. Colt, you are currently at 10 hit points remaining.
Okay.
JJ's gonna go ahead and raise her hands.
You join Orville, hands raised.
Sir, what is she related to King Kasser?
You hear the mask click over. You can hear this kind of like almost like a voice box click over. There's a bit of like amplification to the voice as it speaks, and you hear, yes, this is the name of the current queen. You hear again, Uza, who are you? And what is this all about? Where's your papers? You hear this long, kind of rifled, aimed out. You see Lord Busrun raise his hands, and he hears, "Oi, awfully sorry about that. I was not expecting to come into contact with a member of the Queen's Guard, especially not one of her scouts. Certainly, paperwork. Of course, you are very fervent about paperwork. Just a moment. My elven associate is currently holding on to my paperwork. If you would just allow me to retrieve it, I would happily present it to you. You hear the mask kind of click over, this voice box clicking over, and goes, Odah, go ahead. And he goes, but I'm keeping mine eyes on you. He goes, of course. And he walks over and walks past Vel, and walks over to Morgan. And you see the Lord turn his back to this person and look at Morgan and kind of look up at you, being that you're much taller than him. And he kind of mutters under his breath, and he goes, I'm going to need you to kill this man. I need you to do this, as he is currently an obstacle to our mission. There should be a soft spot where his helmet meets his armor. Strike at that.
I'll just nod, I guess.
All right. You're like, okay. He kind of pretends to like reach forward as if going through like one of your satchels, and kind of turns back around, having already pulled paperwork out into his hand, and kind of turns and goes, oh, here it is. I've got it right here in my hand. Might I hand it to you, good sir? Here. Oh, you may. And you hear him slowly walk forward, and he kind of like begins to outstretch the paperwork towards this individual. Is there anything you guys want to do?
I don't even know what I can do here.
The Lord would prefer it if you would take a knife out and try to assassinate this person.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking about doing, but
Yeah. That's what he's asking.
yeah. I suppose I'll do that.
Okay.
Would JJ have heard, or can she roll perception for that?
I'm going to assume that everyone but Colt would have heard this. He is keeping it like facing it towards, but like muttering. But I'm assuming you guys are all close enough together that you'd probably be able to reasonably hear or make out what he was trying to explain to Morgan.
So tell me about these cuffs. What are we talking? We talking steel? We talking wrought iron?
Oh,
We talking?
What's up? The cuffs you're currently in are cold steel.
That's my turn.
All right. For the rest of it, you see Colt kind of look at his wrist and go, "Oh no!" And so kind of like jingling his handcuffs and going, "Nope." And the player playing Colt goes, "Now that's a strong metal. Can't do that." For the rest of you, what do you want to do? You see this individual lower his weapon and begin to reach for the paperwork that's offered by the Lord.
I mean, like, do I have to wait for everybody else to decide something, or can
No,
I?
you can take an action whenever you like.
I mean, I might as well, right?
That's up to you.
We're charged with getting them out of here, so
That is very true.
all right, let's do it.
All right.
I'm gonna toss my dagger at him.
Okay, you're gonna toss it at him or go up and stab him.
I mean, he has a gun. I don't know if I would necessarily be able to get up there and stab him before I die.
Well, that's where you're at now. If it's something you want to attempt, it is again that is real danger. The Lord himself is currently trying to. You see that this guy is using two hands for this weapon, this device in his hands, and the Lord is pulling his papers in a way that is like he's not like forcing them on him. He's like holding them out so that this person has to reach for them away from his weapon.
Gotcha.
I'll kind of turn to Morgan and look for a nod if she wants me to do something stupid as a distraction, because I have a nice option.
Sir, could I itch my hand real quick, sir?
You hear, well, da. And he starts reaching for, and he puts his hand on the papers at this point, and starts trying to pull them out of the Lord's hand. And you can see there's a little bit of tug as if the Lord is waiting for something to happen before releasing his papers.
I'm gonna look at Val and nod, and then
I
Start
will
shifting.
cast Misty Step and appear behind this guy, and I'm just going to try and tear one of those pipes off of that thing.
Okay. Easy to do.
JJ's also going to bite at her hand until there's blood.
Okay.
And she's going to cast Bane.
Cast Bane. Okay, sure enough. So I have to roll some stuff. Okay, let's see here. So first things first, Vel, go ahead and give me a athletics check to try and tear this piping. You can see that it's a brass that runs along the tank. You're trying to rip it with your hands.
Yep. That's a 10.
That's a 10. You yank and pull, and you immediately see this individual kind of turn and go, "What?" And you can hear this kind of groaning out sound as his armor starts to... What you're hearing is like steam moving through pipes. For anyone who's played video games, you can tell whatever it is he's wearing is like slowly powering back on to like being able to be used. Let's move this out of the way.
Welcome to your distraction. Please use it well. I'll be dead very soon.
Sincerely, for the help. JJ, this individual gets a 14 for his wisdom saving throw.
It's a charisma.
Oh, charisma save. Gets a 12 for the charisma save.
He loses.
Okay, so he gets a negative 1d4 to everything he does.
Yes.
Okay. Morgan, are you making the attack?
yeah.
All right. This individual is sufficiently distracted between the paperwork and Vel. You have advantage on the attack roll. Go ahead and roll to hit.
That's a 23.
That definitely hits. You find the point that the Lord had spoken about, and you wedge a dagger into the side of this person's throat. You feel it tear between the pieces of metal and armor and cut past this very heavy, thick, well-worked leather undersuit that the person's wearing. Go ahead and roll damage, and you have your sneak attack. Bucky, anything you want to do?
Probably. If I have a line of sight, I'll Eldritch Blast the guy. If not,
Go for it.
Hold on. Hold my action.
Roll to hit. Orville,
It's 15 damage, by the way.
15 damage. Okay.
25 to hit
25 hits
for 8 damage.
for 8 damage. Okay. Brings him to 23. All right. And Orville, anything you want to be able to do?
I would like to take away the weapon.
Okay.
or
You want to go
disarm-
and,
disarm
like,
him as in whatever manner.
sure. Go ahead and give me a sleight of hand check versus his athletics.
You got it. That's a 24.
Or 24. You feel it kind of pull and retch out of his hands, and as you kind of yank it back, you hear the tubing that connects it to his backpack kind of start hissing. You feel that if you want, you've taken it out of his hands. Do you want to rip it free of his suit?
I'd like to try, yeah.
Okay. Easy enough to do. You kind of pull and tear and start ripping it past, and you, with a bit of a twist at a 24, you feel kind of something seem to be kind of screwed in, threaded is the correct term. And you, with a bit of a spin and a flourish, you unhook this long rifle from the back of this kind of like steaming backpack, and you hear a hissing sound. Immediately, the tube flails and kind of spins out from the side of this individual and sprays the area. I need Colt, JJ, Morgan, and Vel to... I'm sorry, not JJ. You cast Bane. So I need Morgan, Colt, and Vel to make me con saves, and Orville, a con save from you as well.
All right.
Colt, what'd we get?
16.
16. Colt, you feel this steam spray over the top of you. The heat is very intense and compressed. It kind of pelts you in the side of the head. You manage to get your guard up enough in time to prevent it hitting anywhere very seriously. You take 6 points of fire damage. Orville, what'd you get?
9.
9. You take 11 points of fire damage.
Alrighty.
Morgan,
I got a 10.
a 10. You feel the hissing and the heat kind of hit you in the middle of your abdomen. It kind of feels a bit like it's almost like a wet substance as it sinks into your clothing. It does burn and scald the skin. You take 11 points of fire damage. And Vel?
14.
14. As the steam rises out from this individual, you as well take 11 points of fire damage.
I'm down.
Okay. You feel Vel kind of drop behind. You can hear this kind of gasping feeling. At this, where am I here? 11. All right. So the individual kind of looks over and kind of seems a bit panicked. In doing so, the Lord whistles, and you immediately can sense that there's a bit of tension. He reaches down and grabs a small kind of hand axe from the inner side of his coat and brings it down onto the other side of this being's neck, and you see blood kind of spill out from the other side. In a mere moment, as Vel drops, this individual in a suit of armor drops as well. You see its green eyes kind of glimmer and slowly fade out, and each one turns into red. And it seems to kind of drop on the ground. The Lord looks to you all, looks at the situation, and continues to see steam pouring out of this individual's suit. He looks to you and as your group, and he goes, "All right then, everyone, gather up your friends, get them in." And he shouts and he goes, "Odin brothers, we'll go now. Get your asses in here. Lamont, where's your lazy ass? Get in the cavern. We don't have much time if they're on to us." And immediately waits for only Lamont to show up, pushes Lamont in front of him, and starts pushing past to get through this cavern, leaving you guys kind of with this individual who's now kind of gurgling and very much dying at your feet. Same with Vel. Not a good time for Vel.
JJ is going to healing word Vel.
Okay, go ahead and roll it.
Actually, she'll do it at second level. That's 8 for you, Miss Vel.
Thank you.
Vel heals 8. For the rest of you, what do you want to be doing?
Is there like a valve or something to turn off this steam thing?
Give me a intelligence check or investigation, your choice.
Can for her action too, since that was a bonus action, can she just go ahead and take her rapier and stab into the guy?
Sure. Easy to do. He is
I got it.
prone. Make an attack roll. What'd you get, Bucky?
18.
18. Okay. You look him over as JJ angles her rapier to the front of him and goes to stab through him. You look to it, kind of turn to his side, and you can see this big kind of valve, kind of like almost like a straight bar, and there's like a bit of red to the very tip of it, and you twist it, and you feel a bit of like strength is required. Go ahead and make me an athletics check.
That's a 16.
16. You grip and pull, gritting your teeth, and you hear as you start feeling the force of whatever's in this backpack begin to be shut off as you seal the valve. A few seconds pass after you twist it, and immediately the hose stops spraying this heated steam and some type of almost like a liquid vapor into the air. The hose kind of falls flat, inert next to the creature. You see both the Orin brothers run up, and they have kind of the things. They're both kind of one arm over each other, still recovering from the troll fight, and both kind of grumble about the day they're having.
Can I search the body for a set of keys?
Yeah.
For these cuffs.
Yep. Give me an investigation check.
Ooh, I'm not so good at investigation.
That's fine.
15.
Okay, it's above a 2. You look on his belt, and very clearly on this big metal body, there's a small ring of keys. Easy to find. I just like making people worry about rolling dice. You manage to pull them out, and with likely a bit of help from Orville or anyone who's deft with their hands, you can get the handcuffs open, unlocked, and free. You can keep them or drop them. Just if you're going to keep them, add that you have a set of handcuffs to your character sheet. If you're going to drop them, then drop them. I don't care. You're going to pick up every piece of trash.
Cop Colt now.
Cop Colt. Copa-Cola. Morgan, Orville, anything you guys want to be doing?
Can I start a buddy cop sitcom? He can have the cops that all have the gun.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. You can totally do that.
Yeah.
Could I see if there's anything valuable?
Sure. Yeah, you look him over, and just with your kind of like your eye that you would look it over, it's kind of remarkable in a sense. You look in like his satchels. The one on his left hip contains these. They almost look like baseballs, but they're solid steel. They are like a round, polished ball, about 5 to 6 pounds in hand. He seems to have his satchel filled with about 10 of them, and they sit very heavy in the hand. In the other kind of portion, or his right satchel, you look it over, and there seems to be a collection of rations, a small scrap of paper, a charcoal pen, and on his back of his canister, you can see a kind of what looks like a almost like a big CO2 cartridge that's been belted to the back of his belt. It looks like a spare canister that matches one that's already currently screwed into the device that he's wearing on his back. But past that, that's it.
Is there anything written on the paper, or is it just blank?
Sure. You pick it up, look it over. There seems to be something written in here, Undercommon, if you speak Undercommon.
No, but I'll stow it away.
All right. You take it there.
Knew it.
And then I'm going to take those silver ball things.
Okay. You note each one's 5 pounds, so it's about 50 pounds or so of heft. So just keep encumbrance in mind if you're carrying like 300 pounds worth of stuff and you have 5 strength. We're going to have a hefty conversation.
No worries. Can I just take some of them? I don't need to take all.
Sure. Yeah.
See if anybody else wants them.
Yeah, 5 pounds each. You point out to them, and they kind of roll and clack and clatter out.
Does anybody else want to take these? They may be useful.
Bucky will take a couple of them.
What is it?
I don't know.
Heavy
But
balls.
you're just taking things.
Metal balls.
He wouldn't have them if they weren't something useful.
I feel like I'm gonna have to use both hands to carry my newfound shiny thing. So.
You, as you say this, you're like, I'm gonna have to use both hands to carry the shiny thing. The Oren brothers look at you and go, you should probably leave that there, kid. Someone sees you walking around with that, you're liable to get your ass beat.
All right then. I guess I'll grab one ball in each arm and
All right.
make way.
So, Lord Busrand, this would be one of the other interested parties we'd be concerned about?
As you say this and come to picking yourself off the ground, Lord Sirius Busrund and Lamont are already a few hundred feet away from you guys. They're booking. They're running down this dark corridor.
JJ will help Vel up and let's go, ma'am. And she's gonna start booking it after him.
All right.
I'm going to grab 3 of those items and then start heading out.
Okay. Colt, Bucky, Orville, anything else you guys want to do? Orville, you said you
Just
grabbed
gonna-
stuff and ran?
Grab and run.
Okay.
Bucky will shape water this Durgar guy into the ground.
You're gonna shape water. Oh, just the snow over
Yeah,
him.
snow
Oh,
all
you're-
over him,
you're-
so he's buried.
So you're in the tunnel that connects to the chamber. To do that, you'd either have to pull him out or shovel a whole bunch of snow in. But I mean, it's effectively just the inside of a mountain at this point.
Okay, yeah. Well, I'll just leave him then, I guess.
All right. And then heading off, or gonna stay and look for stuff.
Yep, let's follow after.
Okay. Colt, anything else you want to do?
No, same. I'll just follow after.
All right, you follow after. So it takes a little bit of doing. Vel limping, the Oren brothers themselves both limping shoulder and shoulder. Many of you trying to catch up. You see Lord Busrund kind of looking left and right. As you can see, the tunnel begins to split off into more open directions. He grumbles and he goes, "Oi, there was supposed to be a scout. There was supposed to be a party. There was supposed to be a whole group of them, and weavers. Damn it." And you all kind of arrive behind him. He looks about and he goes, "Would any of you happen to Ulrich?" And he turns and points to the kind of balding dwarven brother of the two. And he goes, "You should have your compass on you." He goes, "Well, of course I've got my compass. Yes, Lord. It's right here." And he reaches in his pack and pulls out a small kind of brass-lined object. The Lord snatches it out of Ulrich's hand rather rudely and looks it over. And you can see for a moment the dial in this thing is spinning and just continuously moving in different directions. He goes, "Come on now, come on," and shakes it a few times. And slowly it finds a point where it sits and seems to find north for a moment before beginning to spin again. And he kind of goes, "All right, that'll do. All you follow me. We'll discuss this when we're safe." And he peels off through the eastern kind of split in the mountain.
I'll
JJ
follow
followed.
behind.
Following through. All right.
The way he's going, we don't have time to look if it's the right way or not. Not that we'd know. God, this hurts.
Fucking hurt. So you follow the Lord
That Vel.
as you.
It's okay. I honestly was expecting worse.
Yeah, that's fair. So as you guys are following the Lord in his rushing state, you note that every so often he continues to kind of poke and prod Lamont. Lamont seems to get slower and slower as he gets more and more tired. Every so often trying to ask, "Well, sir, what about the cart behind our supplies?" He goes, "We don't need them anymore. We're so close for our goal. We need to get into safety. We need allies. If that fella dropped the way he did, I'm willing to bet they know where he's at. He found something that wasn't supposed to be found. It was supposed to be forgotten. No one was supposed to know about what was going on here. We've been betrayed, Lamont. Betrayed." So, of course, sir, I'm so sorry. And he's like, "Yes, come on, Lamont." And he continues to kind of push the smaller individual forward. He continues on for the better part of about 20 minutes. You guys go through snaking these various small corridors, these very tight-knit paths. They're no wider than about a person and a half or so. Many of you have to walk single file and kind of chase after the Lord as he moves as fast as his dwarven feet will take him. After this time, however, the Lord stops and kind of looks over and kind of pulls himself tight to one of the walls. And you can hear kind of the dripping, this dripping, echoing sound. And you can, as you catch up to him, you can see the chamber ahead has about a 75-foot drop and then enters into a pool of what appears to be kind of glistening water. Bucky, you're not sure if it's water. It's the dark. But it sounds like water. So even though you can't see in dark, you definitely hear it. The Lord kind of thinks it over and he goes, "Must have taken a wrong turn, but where? If there's water, it's got to be coming from somewhere." He starts looking around the chamber and looks at all of you. He goes, "Any of you, the spelunking type, curious about finding chambers, places to go? Surely some of you have to have experience in exploration, yeah?"
Do you believe that there will be a path in the water that will help us?
If there's water leaking out here, our people are not the type to leave a natural resource untapped. Surely, if it's coming through, this must be bile or waste. The smell of it has a bit of purified taste to it. We could run through the other auxiliary to the rest of the city, or we'd climb our way from which this water came. It'd be a bit more unsanitary, but at least we'd know that we'd arrive in the city safe and sound. Come now. You can't be as quiet as church mice here. One of you has to have eyes for this.
Myself for water. I'm not sure that I'm apt for breathing in sewage.
He looks around to the rest of you.
Oh, well, I've slept in worse. Let's go.
There we go.
Yeah,
that a boy. And he kind of pats you on the back, Orville. He looks to you, Colt.
Yeah, I don't think I got a problem with it. I might get an infection with all these damn cuts and shit, but
That sounds like a personal problem.
yeah, it probably is. But I don't got a problem with swimming through some muck.
We don't need to swim through it yet. We just need to see where it's coming from. You there, goblin? What do your eyes say? I can't tell hair nor tit where this water's coming from. It's just dripping down. And he looks around the area and seems baffled. Can't seem to find where the water enters or exits from.
Can JJ try and discern? Look around the chamber. Anything?
Sure. Go ahead and give me a perception check.
$19.
19. You step up behind Orville as the Lord attempts to get Orville to kind of like look this over and like really find this out. You look over and you can see, as you examine the room, this does enter into, again, a bit of a drop and then a large kind of collection of moisture at the bottom, making the appearance or otherwise sham of a lake in a sort of sense. You can tell by the way in which the current is moving with your dark vision that this sewage, or this recently processed sewage, is being drained from the bottom of this and likely redistributed somewhere else. You also notice with a 19, on the other side of the wall where you're at, so where you're standing, directly across from you, you can see just about another 15, 20 foot up on the wall or across from you, the makings of what looks to be a very old, rusted-looking door. It is a grate. It is like a big sealed kind of circular slab of metal, but at the very bottom of it, it is rusted and corroded away, and you can see the drops of kind of uncleaned sewage seeping out from the bottom of this kind of metallic covering.
She will point that out to the Lord and everyone else.
He looks it over and he goes, "All right then. Well, your weaver's chosen. You're the best that money can buy. Weavers, damn it. What do you think? Are we riding the wave into the treatment facility? Or are we taking our chances with that sewage door? Can one of you get across and pry it open?"
Yeah, I could probably do that.
How far is it?
It's a 50-foot gap of a room, and then it's about 20 foot up.
Would... And this is actually a spell question, because it's not one of the explicitly stated things, but I was curious about this.
Sure.
Since with Alter Self I can do aquatic adaptation, can I give myself a climb speed by giving myself claws?
I don't know. Hold on. Look it up.
It's not listed as one of the options, but...
Then likely not, because I think they don't want to double dip on spider climb.
Yeah.
That's usually their design choice. Okay, you assume a different form. When you cast a spell, you choose one of the options that lasts for the effects. And the skull, that's one. You get gills and webbing between your fingers. You can breathe underwater, gain swim speed. You can transform your appearance. You decide what you look like, or you gain natural weapons. Yeah, it doesn't specifically give it to you, and I know that spider climb's a thing, so I don't think they want to do that. Yeah, and spider climb's the same spell level, so specifically they made a spell that does the thing that Alter Self doesn't. Unfortunately. Unfortunatitties.
How far up is the roof?
or the ceiling, I should say.
As you kind of lean your head open and or over and up, you look into it, and it extends past your hobgoblin-y dark vision. So it's above 60-foot opening. Actually, kind of looks like a kind of a drop chamber.
How high up did you say that door was?
It's 50 foot across and 20 foot up. So if you have anything that's range 50, it'll reach there.
And it like it's like 20 feet up, and then there's just wall, and then
It's almost flush. Yeah, it's almost flush the wall. So what you're in is kind of like a large kind of circular entrance. You're standing at the like a cave lip that leads up to it, and then it's kind of like think like you're in a cylinder almost, right? So you're in a big cylinder area. Directly across from you and up is this like flush flat piece of metal with rust at the bottom that you can tell that there's corrosion, and a sickly kind of water is dripping out of it, like unpurified water is dripping out of this thing. You look up, and it extends all the way up past what Colt can see, but with your vision obviously different. And then you look down, and it's a drop of about 75 feet or so into a standing pool of who knows what. Being that there's no light in the room, even the friends that you have with dark vision are unable to confirm exactly what kind of water it is, or if it's water at all. Could just be duty. The Lord looks left and right. Come on now. What are you thinking?
I'm having a thought here. I want to see how deep the pool is. I'm going to take one of these 5-pound balls and just drop it over the edge.
Okay. You reach it out.
Cool.
You hold it over the pool and drop it. You see this thing move down and hit solidly. You hear kind of something that, for many of you, who's trained in insight? Let's find that out today. That's a good question. Orville, JJ? Beep boop, beep boop. Good. So Orville and JJ, the sound it makes is very kind of liquid in nature. However, the kind of echo that it provides seems like almost something that's probably thicker or more gelatinous than water is. It's more it has a higher viscosity than water. You look down, and as a goblin, it's hard to see through this muck that's down there. It's hard to see colors in dark vision, but you do lose sight of the ball that you had dropped.
All right.
And there's no way that we could backtrack.
The Lord looks at you and kind of thinks it over. He goes, well, if you're good at running tunnels, then more than welcome. But most likely that individual who found us and found this path has friends that are now looking for us. They're going to be looking for him. If we can't find a path like this that we know, at the very least I know that one way or another, this does connect to the city. Once we're in the city, we can reach allies. We can resupply, we can rest, we can get our bearings. But if they catch us, that's the end of this entire venture. You're not going to get your payment, and we might be enemies of the state.
Seems like we already are.
Not
Thought
yet.
We were working for the state.
We're working for the one true king of Iskander.
Yeah, but what's it about the queen? That's my question. But we ain't got time for that.
So, yes, Colt, what do you need?
I got an idea. It's
Lay it
probably a
on me.
terrible idea.
Those are the best
All right.
ones.
Morgan. So I got some rope. I don't know if anyone else has some rope. Shoot an arrow, tie a rope to that metal plate, and possibly we could rip some of it off enough so that it starts to leak more. Maybe it'll fill up this area. It'll allow us to float up a bit and be able to reach that area. I didn't learn this from a video game, because I don't know what those are.
Colt, there's a small cutscene where Colt's walking by as a young teenager in Direwood, and there's two gnomes sitting on the side of a street and just being like, no, if you use a wedge. You could get under a door and put a piece of hook there and yank it free. I think you're crazy. Like, no, the math checks out. Now it fades back into reality. It was a gnome game.
Would a grappling hook work better for you?
Yes, a lot better. What? All right, never mind. Morgan, I wish I would have known you had that. That solves literally all of our problems. Give me the damn grappling hook. I'm not mad at you. I'm upset I didn't know about this, and I also got the crap beaten out of me out of something that I don't know because I just don't remember. I totally listened to that whole episode last time, not the last 15 minutes.
I took it last
yeah.
time. We needed one. I bought one because we needed one last time. So
yeah. So small thing here too, Morgan. And I normally would not help, but I am going to help on this one. You have Mage Hand, and you're the best person with Mage Hand. One of the cool features of Mage Hand is rather than Colt just free ball winging this thing to find a hook, you can just take your Mage Hand and wedge a grappling hook on any surface you want and hook it. So you could take it and, like, instead of having to throw it and hope you get a hook, you can literally guide a spectral hand, float it over, and put it exactly where the hook needs to go. So
my range on that's only 30 feet, though.
So your range of casting it, but not your range of control.
Okay.
That's the important part.
Yeah, no, I've literally been thinking that this whole time, but I was
pretty sure. Let me see here. Let me double check it, because it might be different. But
I've been checking rules before I say shit, so...
It vanishes if it's ever more than 30 feet away from you.
Oh, boo. Never mind then.
Yeah, I was actually just looking this up, and I was pulling up the rogue archetype to be like, is it modified in a way that makes this work? Because this is what my brain's been doing for a little while now.
Well, cool idea, but
hold
never
on
mind. I'm an idiot. Don't mind me.
Velithil, don't you have those floaty disky things? Can't you lift me and push me that way, like forward, so I'll be a little closer when I throw this grappling hook? Teamwork, guys. Come on. You guys come on. We all got special things. I'm just a big guy. I got a big sword. I think I still have it. I don't know.
I appreciate the attempted ingenuity, but that disc will only stay 10 feet behind me at all times. I cannot force it to go further away from me ahead.
Well, just turn around or something. Like, just it'll get me
There's
10 feet
to
closer.
the other side. I mean, we can do that. That will get you 10 feet closer.
The Oren brothers go, how curious. He knows how spells work. Oh, more than just a red box of matchsticks he is. Curious. And
I got hit in the head one too many times.
You hear one of them cough and reach into his pocket and trade a silver to his brother. Goes, all right. It's not completely dumb.
JJ's just gonna pat Colt on the shoulder.
Colt, if we did that, you wouldn't be able to get a running start either, which you're going to need to clear this.
But see, if I can throw the grappling hook... Oh, here. Better yet. All right. So arrow. Tied to rope. Tied to grappling hook. Shoot it at that wall. It's going to maybe catch on something. If not... Wait, no, I'm not thinking this through, clearly.
I can tell.
Don't
Are we trying to destroy this grate?
I'm trying to remove that grate so that maybe more water will come through, or possibly be able to climb up there. I'm trying to think of a way that we can get closer so that I can try to, I could just attempt to throw it. I mean, I have some rope I can tie to the grappling hook. The grappling hook already comes with rope, I'm assuming, correct?
Morgan has rope as well.
Okay, so yeah, I just tie two leads of rope together, and have
Here's
enough
the thing,
rope.
though, and I hate to break your heart about this. How are we going to cross on this single strand of rope? You are the only person here who is remotely decent with any athletic skill.
Here's the thing, all right?
The two dwarven brothers look at Val and go, "Oi, what got up her ass? You know, if my lung wasn't collapsed, I could do it."
I'm not going to lie. I forgot you weren't dead.
Well, thank you. Forgot you. Whatever.
So we get onto the grate. If I can get the the grappling hook up there and I can get up there, I can pull you guys up. I can pull the smallest of you first, and then they can help me pull more and more people, and we can use teamwork to pull everyone up. It's a possible solution.
Or we could just wade through the God's damn sewage.
I'm not
What-
going to lie. I'm so concerned that that's just some type of ooze down there.
Yes,
It's a very
Yeah.
long
no,
drop.
it sounds pretty gross, and it's far.
It's probably doo-doo.
Can Bucky try to shape water and see what it is? See if
Like,
it's
you
shape
think
water.
if Bucky tried
Yeah.
shit?
What's the range on shape water? Is it 75 feet or more?
30 feet.
Shape doo-doo.
You unfortunately can't reach the whatever the surface is down there.
Oh, is
The,
that, and there's no water on the walls or anything?
From what you look at, it's kind of like grime, not so much water.
Shape
So- So wait, are we trying to like break this metal piece? Is that what's happening right now?
So here's
Idric looks at you all and goes, "If your goal is just to break it, ain't you all have all kinds of nonsense?"
We could Eldritch Blast it, probably.
now that won't guarantee we can hook it to something. We could try and destroy it. Colt, do you want to try and hook onto it first?
Yeah, I'd like that.
Okay. So here's my suggestion for Colt's stupid plan before we move on to someone else's stupid plan.
It's not a
I
stupid
mean, no
plan. You
offense by
don't
this,
have to
I
be
don't have a good
rude.
plan. So even my plans would be stupid, and I'm about to tell you my combination of everyone's stupid plan. So here's what we do. I will summon the disc. Colt can get on it. He'll be floating a little bit out over the sewage, giving him a bit more distance to make the toss against the grate, to either pull it off or pull his own ass over there. Then
This is my plan so far. I made this plan, and you're taking credit for it right now.
I didn't. I said it was your plan. This is the part that I'm adding to it. When you get over there, to ensure that the rope gets back to be tied on, Morgan will have to be the last person over because she'll be able to use her mage hand to guarantee catch the rope as you throw it back to be tied on to the next person. That is my
Okay.
addendum to Colt's stupid plan.
You said it
hear
was your
a
own
cough.
plan, though.
I
so
never said it was my plan. I said this was my modification of your plan.
Fine, whatever.
There's a small cough, and you hear Lamont kind of go, "Ooh, at least we're all working together now."
Oh, hey,
Is
buddy.
he okay? You know what? Fuck it. I don't care. I start
Fine.
casting the Tensor's disc.
You cast Tensor's floating disc. The disc is summoned. Is there anything you guys want to do in the 10 minutes while that's happening?
Oh,
I'm gonna stretch. And I'm gonna remember all my skills that'll help me pass this. My hobgoblin thing.
JJ is gonna pat him on the shoulder and give him that inspirational speech
Inspirational
towards
speech.
the end of the 10 minutes.
All right. Anyone else? So 10 minutes pass. The disc is summoned, and up to you guys. What do you want to do?
I'll back my ass up to the chasm and let the disc out.
Okay. The disc floats
And I'm-
out 10 foot as you slowly beep, 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 back the old dump truck up. It hangs
Get 'em.
10 foot off the edge of the path.
I'm gonna get on the disc before it extends out.
Oh, okay, okay.
So, no, yeah.
So as she's
Wait.
backing up, you're
Wait,
huh?
we're forgetting the mechanics of the spell. It can't do this.
No?
No, it can't go over a pit.
Yep. But you couldn't let him
So
It
I
can't
don't-
cross
first?
an elevation change of 10 feet or more.
God damn it, you couldn't have let him die first? I was so close. Why'd you read the spell?
Because my brain at the last second remembered how the spell works.
Well, damn it.
Just would have fallen in the
You get-
poo-poo water.
Yeah, you get almost the first foot of the spell starts to move over the pit, and the crumbling of this force disc begins to start, and Vel stops cold. Her blood gets very, very cold, having just spent 10 minutes in the spell, and goes, "Oh shit." And looks over and like turns to Colt, and Colt, the disc whips around trying to stay behind her and almost slams you into a wall. And then she explains, What her player has just realized is, yes, the spell will not work as a flotation device over a pit.
All right, we're just gonna do this the old-fashioned way. I'm just gonna toss it now.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna throw it with all my strength.
Give me an athletics check, friend.
Right. Athletics.
So close. So close. You
So it's
spent the
a
10 minutes.
D6,
He got on
'cause
it.
I want
You're
it.
backing up. It was all perfect.
All right, that's a 21
21.
with every. So far.
You sit there, you grumble, you roll up the chainmail sleeves of your armor, you take this, put it like a cowboy trying to wrangle in a steer, and you hurl this thing directly forward. You see it sail across the open air. The rope slides between your fingers and hands, the kind of grip and coil you had grasp of it. It goes through, and with a resounding it slams the front head of this grappling hook, tears through the bottom rusted part and breaks it like a piñata. You actually see it crack and shatter, this old rusted metal being held together, honestly, not by much at all. For anyone who's ever seen rusted metal, it'll keep its shape so long as no force presses on it. This thing crumples, honestly, almost like tissue paper under the weight and strength of this throw. As it falls apart, you immediately start hearing this kind of slopping sound, this and start falling down. You start hearing small, kind of echoing splashes. You can smell this foulness, this bile enter into the room. I need everyone to make me a Constitution saving throw.
Oh man, there's more poo-poo now.
It's not poo-poo, it's a nuclear device. My name's Joe Dirt. Ding! We'll start here. Vel, what'd you get for a con save?
10.
10. Fail by 5 or more. You are poisoned while you're in this room, and your body is reaching its breaking point. You take 1 point of exhaustion. Morgan, what'd you get?
23.
23. You smell it, hold your hand over your nose, and do not succumb to the foul bile and weariness that this smell is just beating upon your physical body. JJ, what did we get?
A 4.
A 4. You guys hear a splashing sound, and actually not a splashing sound. You're in that area. You actually just hear somebody hit the concrete behind you, the stone that's behind you. You look over, and JJ has passed out, fainted even. Orville, what'd you get?
8.
8. You hear? Is that? Hold on. That's not by 10 or more. We're at 16. No. So, Orville, you take a point of exhaustion, and you are poisoned. Bucky, what'd you get?
I got a 21.
21. You're fine. Colt, what'd you get?
18.
18. You were fine. So, everyone goes through. Let's see here. Let's roll for the Lord. Both brothers. And Lamont. All right. So you see the rest of them kind of hold their noses. Lamont groans, and you can hear him kind of start panting. He's like, "Oh, that really takes it out of you." Oh. And he seems to kind of move in and out, seeming like he's on the edge of consciousness, but stays awake. Unlike JJ. JJ passes out. JJ, you also gain the poison condition, and you take a point of exhaustion. And you are unconscious on the ground.
Are we really sure that's the path we want to take?
It's a path. And it's the path that we got now. So go ahead there, Mr. Honeycutt. Make the bridge. Set us free.
Is the grappling hook catching on to something there, or is...
You pull, and you can feel it move and glide through whatever this sickling material that's pouring out of this pipe is. You continue to kind of yank it, and with the 21 that you kind of pull, and you can feel it kind of catch on something on the inside of this now broken bit of the door that you've made, this plate.
All right. How much of that doo-doo is falling out
It's sloshing out in like chunks. Like it's
Yeah.
kind of like finally breaking free, and it's slowly like and like slowly dripping down the side of the wall and just waxing this cavern in there. You can hear it hitting and splashing into the viscous water below.
All right. I'm gonna take a piece of the back of my my poncho.
Mhm.
And I'm gonna rip it off real fast and try to make myself like a makeshift mask.
Sure. You make yourself a cloth mask. You have advantage against 2020.
And so what's the angle in which the rope is kind of at? Is this like a
So,
swinging angle,
yeah,
or is this a
so-
straight?
No, so the door is 20 foot up from where you're at. It's a straight line there. And it's caught on something at the bottom part where you broke through the rusted gate. So you have a flat wall, your thing went through, and it's like caught somewhere up here. And there's a section of this door now, or this like plate, that is now broken through, that bile and all kinds of nonsense is kind of coasting through.
Okay. All right. Swinging is a terrible idea. Bucky, can you do me a favor? The other end of this rope, can you do your mold earth thingy, or your not mold earth, your dirt thing? Like do rocks or something over the rope so that it stays pretty tight. I don't know if that's
I don't know.
possible.
We could try,
Or
or
maybe
weight it
ice?
down with
I don't
something.
The Orton brothers look at you both and go, how about if you have a python? Do you have a hammer and a python? Why don't you just embed the son of a bitch right into the stone?
I do.
I don't have a python on me.
I believe I do.
You do,
Oh,
Orville?
you do?
I do.
Nice.
Up to you.
Yeah.
Yep.
I will hand both of those things over to him.
Okay. It takes Colt, if you want, it takes the better part of about 2 minutes or so. You take a bit of the rope and pull it tight and lay it flat, and with Bucky's help, you take 3 pythons and hammer them down through the rope and seem to kind of tie it off and hold it. And you kind of loop it over Scout's knots and secure a rope that now extends out from this area. Tight, and there's no give to it.
All right. Here's a moment of truth.
Colt,
Yes.
when you open that door, you're going to face a torrent of that shit.
I know I'm gonna face a torrent of that doo-doo, but it's fine. I've been through worse. We don't have time for me to tell a story, but I've been through worse. All right. Just remind me to tell you about the. Never mind. I can't think of anything right now. I'm
Look.
gonna make something up.
Lamont grumbles and goes.
couldn't think of anything.
Lamont grumbles and looks to Bucky and goes, "Sir, I think this would be a great story about the Lake of Bile and the heroic hobgoblin."
We should write a song. Write a song about it.
You should do that. Yes.
I'll need your help for the finer details.
Sure. We'll talk revenue split afterwards.
Bucky's going to use Druidcraft around the area to make it smell like mint.
Okay. You do the old French thing of rubbing some cologne underneath the noses. It smells way better. For everyone around here, while you're around this minty area, it doesn't stink as bad. It's slightly more bearable.
That's the best.
Bucky pulls out like the hand sanitizers, like bloop bloop. I've saved the water supply. Bloop bloop.
It's like he has those essential oils that just rubs a little under your nose.
There you go.
Here you go. A little mint, bruh.
Went to Bed Bath
It's good
Beyond before this
It's
adventure.
good for
Let's
your
go.
headache too. Put some on your head.
All right. So what's the plan, guys?
I guess I'll crawl first, test it out.
Okay.
If anyone's gonna die, it's gonna be
Do we have
me.
a second rope to tie Colt off in case he falls?
We should.
Yeah, Bucky has rope.
That's a good idea. I didn't think of that one.
Yeah, you're welcome. I'm trying to have brain
Bucky,
power right
you-
now, but it
you
really
get-
stinks.
You get your rope. If you want to mark off Orville a 4th python, you can hammer it into the stone, tie it off, and now Colt, you have a rope that will secure you in the event you horribly screw up and fall before you end up in the drink. I think that's the best way I could have phrased that.
All right, I'm ready to go. I'm gonna go upside down crawl with my legs crossed over it, and then just kind of feed it through.
Sure.
Hands.
Are you trained in athletics?
Yes.
All right. Being that you have the correct technique with the correct rope with the correct, I'm not gonna Mercer it up and make you make 1,000 rolls. You guys watch Colt, like a trained military veteran, and continue to kind of crawl over and move through. And you get across the gap, you clear it, you get all the way up to where this bile is coming through, and you look, your hook is stuck in some piece of gravel and metal that's been wedged on the other side of this kind of large iron plate. And the only way through is where all this gunk is pouring out. Your rope extends further past that stuff.
All right, I'm going to take a real deep breath. I'm going to crawl real fast right through it.
You start moving all the way through it. Colt, roll me a Constitution saving throw.
19.
19, okay. You move through it. You can feel the groan and grain of this disgusting mess that's been sitting in this area, this section, for the weavers only know how long. You pull yourself through, and you manage to get to the other side where your rope is. You start moving through the gunk and bile, crawling several feet through it, until you finally get to the top. You are up to your shoulders in foulness, in just the worst gunk and bile you can smell. And you turn to look in your dark vision slowly as you try not to touch your eyes, but you have to clean them. You kind of manage to get your eyes free and look, and you can see this large metal plate and a heavy kind of slamming bolt that is adhered to the side of this cavern wall. What do you want to do?
I have a feeling if I open that, it's going to pour all kinds of poop all over the place. But it might be the exit. Let's open it.
All right.
Let's see if I can at least push it open.
Reach up, put your hands onto this, and start kind of sliding as best you can, but it's rusted, and it seems like it's not going to give too well. Go ahead and make me an athletics check.
16.
16. You grunt, dig deep. You can feel the slush, this just foul bile moving between your boots, going into every crease and crevice of the leather of your outfit. You groan and kind of get a good grip on it and manage not to slide, and yank and throw your shoulder into it, and you hear this, and this large bar comes sliding free of the wall, seemingly sat there for who knows how many years. As soon as it comes free, you hear this. You all watch as this heavy iron circular, like kind of grate, falls free from where Colt's at and lands. And for a moment, it looks like it's actually going to fill the space in between. And it kind of seems to kind of tilt and slide. And then it gets wedged down. You hear this. And it sits. And there is now a large metal grate tilted, laid in this area, supported surprisingly by the rope, keeping it balanced for a moment, and slowly digging into the stone of this large kind of cylindrical area that you guys find yourselves in. Colt stands on the other side, and legitimately a waterfall of foulness is pouring out from around him, and slowly the level of this bile begins to lower and lower. Colt, I need a strength saving throw.
Get knocked out, don't get knocked out, don't get knocked out, don't get knocked out. 15.
Okay, that's 3 times what I needed. The current doesn't push you out into the open area to your death. You feel it kind of push through, and in the inside of about 4 or 5 minutes, you are now standing in bile only about a little bit higher than the tops of your boots. For everyone in attendance, your party and the rest of the group, they all kind of look it over and go, oh. And you hear the Lord shout out, "Atta boy, Haricot. That's the thing tougher stuff is made out of. Now then, and he looks around, he goes, you there, you're light on your feet, and he points to JJ. Hop across and make sure it's safe for the rest of us. He kicks her. Wake up! And you are unconscious and out. Because this is what they do, huh? They just sleep on the job.
Sir, she passed out when it got real stinky in here.
Oh, isn't that just good for her? Well then, one of you scurry across and figure out if this is going to be safe or not.
I'll head over.
You'll head over? Okay. Morgan, you move down. You kind of come off the ledge, dip your feet onto the metal. You can feel it slick. And it's very much coated in this like waxy filament. As you step onto it, your boot sinks down about a half an inch into the film that exists on the other side of this. But you slowly move your weight off from the stone onto this large kind of iron and rotted door. And you seem standing. It supports your weight.
Sorry, Cole, did you want to say something?
Oh, no, never mind. I changed my mind.
Moving across, Morgan?
Sure.
Okay. You take one step. You take another step. You can hear the squishing. It's like walking in horrible, horrible snow. You continue across it, and you feel a piece of it slide out from under your boot. Give me a dexterity saving throw.
Oh, I minimized it. 22.
Oh, okay, yeah. You feel it slip, and you immediately catch yourself. You redistribute your weight and balance. You hear the door groan for a minute. You can hear it as it sinks about a third of an inch, a little bit further deeper. It bites harder into the sides of this stone columned area, but easily enough, you make it to the other side. You reach up to the lip and pull yourself up with some help from Colt, no doubt, and you make it to the other side safely. The Lord looks it over and he goes, she nearly fell to her death. Don't think I didn't see that. Is there any way that we can make this safer?
Bucky, could you shape water all this weight
Try.
off the door?
We could give that a go. See if there's any actual water in there.
Bucky, do you have mold earth?
I do.
You could kind of establish a bit more of a secure connection to the walls here.
Oh yeah, I could. Yeah, I'll try that. Like mold earth over some of the connection points so they're stronger.
Sure. You kind of reach out and kind of point along the lip that you can still reach with the spell. Go ahead and give me your choice, nature or arcana. Either proficiency with the spell or knowledge of the stone that you're molding. And let me know which one you roll and what you got.
Rolled nature, I got a 3.
Got a 3? Okay. You look it over and you're like, yeah, this will work. Oh, no problem. And you kind of like move the top part of the stone before the bottom, and it kind of tilts it at a more kind of obtuse angle. You hear this film slowly slide off before you mold underneath it and reaffix it. You now have what was once kind of like a longer angle. You have it's now kind of bit and more at a bit of an acute. It's more of a climb than a walk now. But you solidify the stone at the base into kind of a hardened, more densely packed material that's going to hold this thing in place, you think?
I hope.
You hope. That's the hope.
Yep. If there's any left on there, Bucky will try to shape water that off as well.
Okay. Yeah, this is a good question for all this. You have to be able to see for these spells, right? Or no?
I do have a torch going. I don't know if that'll help me or not.
Sure. Would have been important, but we're good. So yeah, you have this torch going. You lean it over the area. You can hear it crackling and burning away at the fumes and smell that are coming off of this. You definitely feel like a bit of heat kind of crackle around this material. You look it over and slowly you reach out and you manage to kind of mold what little water is still in there You don't think you're going to be able to move it because it's not entirely water. However, being that you've done this before, you know that you could likely freeze it, and it would at least make it more stable rather than slippery.
Could I try and remove it with prestidigitation?
You certainly could. You can use that.
Yeah, try that.
You point and begin to kind of weave the incantation for prestidigitation. You can feel it take hold and root of the bile, the filth, this disgusting nonsense, and slowly it parts and splits and reveals a very clean underside. You're not able to whip it into a disappearance, but prestidigitation actually is able to pull and peel it apart enough for there to be a clean path towards the exit. As soon as you manage to kind of move this through, you note that you have to cross.
Yeah, I have to walk
before
this
it's fully
path
clean.
while I'm doing it because it's only
Yep.
10 feet in front of me.
Yeah, that's what I was just about to bring up. But slow and steady. You don't step on anything slippery or anything that would make you lose your balance. You manage to clear this entire path for those behind you. And as soon as you're clear, you climb to the other side with the assistance of Colt and Morgan. And the moment you cross, you hear Lamont kind of, huh, and hop down. The Lord behind him and eagerly moves along. He goes, come on! Good solutions, good smart people. Money and coin well spent. Honor to you and your houses. He goes and hefts Lamont up like a concerned parent, and then climbs up behind him. The path is clear if you guys would like to progress.
Yep.
All right. So, Bucky, you move forward.
Yes.
When I get to the other side, I will cast prestidigitation about 1,000 times on Colt and then pat him on the back.
They're sick on you. What do you want to do for Orville?
I mean, I'll slowly make my way across.
All right, you make your way across easily enough. As you do so, the two Oren brothers stop, look around, look at everyone who's already crossed, look back, and they kind of part from each other, and they both kind of like sag a bit, and you see them go, all right, boulder, parchment, shears, boulder, parchment, shears,
JJ, by
boulder,
the way?
parchment, shears, and they split it up, and they go, all right, and one of them kind of goes, ah, fuck, and goes down and reaches and hefts up JJ over his shoulder, and he gets like the front half of her, and the other one gets the back half. He's like, oh yeah, I got the fucking feet that are all covered in this grime. Wow, that's been great. He's like, oh, shut the fuck up. If you had beaten that troll quicker, you wouldn't be bitching now, would you? He's like, oh, it's not my fault the damn thing heals. It's not your fault you're not a Weaver's Chosen. And the pair of them walk like she's the newest spit roast at a horrible cannibal village as they carry her like arm in arm across the logging. They hand her unconscious body to the rest of the group. Goes, hey, you left this back in the cavern. We're not going to pick it up a second time. And they'll deposit JJ to Colt or anyone else who could lift her before helping themselves to climb to the other side. Before too long, you guys are safely on the other side. The Lord looks to Bucky and to Vel. He goes, you two, with all your magical acuity, destroy this path. We can't have anyone chasing after us. Well, did I stutter?
Bucky, if you wouldn't mind a few Eldritch Blasts, I don't have anything that wouldn't cost a bit too much energy.
Yeah, I can Eldritch Blast that.
Could you just loosen up the stone around where it's anchored?
That sounds like a smart idea, and it'd be a lot hell of a quieter than whatever it is you're firing out of your fingers there.
Yep. I moved the earth so the pittons are no longer anchored.
Sure. You just easily enough, some of the loose stone and gravel that this door is made, you kind of just parse it apart. And as soon as it kind of gets a little bit more momentum, it starts tipping. You hear and starts tearing into the side of the wall and drops about 10 feet. You hear it continue to roll weightlessly in the air for a moment before, and you can see pieces of foulness spring up to life above your vision and crackle. You can hear the sizzling of your torch as some of the bits and pieces of it kind of come and splash into the inside of these openings. But the door has dropped, and there's no chance of anyone using it to catch up with you.
You know, guys, I'm pretty pooped. Ha.
The Lord looks at you and
I
goes,
hate you.
Finally, I agree. Who would have thought the day I agree with an elf? But God, you make it very hard to do business with you, Mr. Honeycutt.
I'm sorry, I couldn't help myself.
Oh, no, you
I just
could have,
crawled
but
through
you
a
didn't.
bunch of this fecal matter. And I thought I just wanted one joke. Just thought I could have one joke. My
Well, there you
bad.
go. You've
Sorry.
gotten it. Mr. Lamont, if you will, forward march. You see Lamont go, yes, sir, right away, sir. Right away. He kind of like
Is he going
starts,
to be okay?
he'll be fine. Stop asking about him. He'll be absolutely fine. Make sure that
Last
sleeping
time
beauty
I
of
asked
yours
about him.
will be good. Someone carry our little bunny over there. Make sure you don't leave anything behind in the tunnels. We're likely not to come back for it. He starts hopping along
Colt,
after Lamont.
why don't you get her on one arm and I'll get her on the other?
Belle, don't
Yeah.
you have that disc?
It already dispersed. Do you want to spend another
Oh,
10
okay.
minutes dicking around?
No, that's all right.
Alright, yeah. I'll grab her.
Okay.
Grab one arm or whatever.
You know, weekend at Bernie's, sir?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, easily enough. You guys managed to carry and grapple JJ, bring her along this long stretch of tunnel. And for a while, you guys travel 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes down this long, disgusting, rotting corridor. You can smell various clusters of left behind excrement and other foulness and bile that exists within this long metallic tubing. Before you hear a crumpling sound and a drop. And as you catch up and many of you kind of arrive, you see the Lord looking over a collapsed Lamont. He looks him over and he goes, God damn it. Waver, damn it. Not right now. Lamont, get up. One of you. Pick him up. He can't be resting in here. Tend to him. See what's wrong. He fell over.
It's that smell. Bucky's gonna cast Druidcraft again for Mint.
Everyone, juniper berries. Delightful.
As somebody who's proficient in medicine, can I take a look over him?
Sure. Go right ahead. Give
Um,
me a check. Sorry.
Okay.
Roll for it.
That's a 7.
A 7. You look him over and he looks perfect. You kind of like, you look him over, he's collapsed face down. You kind of nudge the side of his cloak, and as you kind of go to put hands on him and touch him, you can feel there's a crisp, an ashen texture upon your fingers. And you roll him over, his cloak looks completely intact, his body clean as a whistle, not a single bit of damage upon him. But as you pull your hands back, and in the light that Bucky is holding, this kind of like dwindling, burning torchlight that's been going now for a little bit shy of an hour, you look and you have this black ash on your fingers. And you kind of like look it over and you look at Lamont, and Lamont is clean as a whistle.
I mean, this has to be magic, right? Like, there's Lord. Is there any way we could take away whatever is obscuring Lamontness, so I can actually figure out what's going on with him?
Yeah. But make me the promise here and now that we'll discuss it. We won't be rushing to judgment, and we'll see this through to the end, yeah?
Yeah. We're this far, sir.
All right.
Lord, Highness, what have you?
Upon his left hand, you'll find a ring across his pinky finger. Remove it, and you'll see what he's going on.
Right, I'll do that.
Okay. You reach for his arm, you kind of heft it up, you can still feel this ashen texture at your fingertips. You pull and reveal, you find like his hand that doesn't look like he's wearing rings, but you pull this ring off his pinky finger, this very small ring. Mm-hmm. And as you pull it from it, you can see this kind of like wavering illusion fade off of Lamont. What you see before you is what appears to be almost a gnomish individual. Once probably had striking features, have all paled and gone. His cloak, the brightness of it, his backpack, everything about him seems to be charred, burnt away, and suffering several like third-degree burns across his skin. There's several pox marks, burns, and ashes, and it looks as if his skin is kind of flaking away. You can see this creature now lay before you, gnome in shape, but now in design very much suffering in a number of what you can only assume to be horrific pains. You look him over, and both of his eyes are bloodshot, and there are streams of crimson running down them. You can hear a gasping kind of whisper of a voice. And you go, "I'm sorry." He kind of moves, and he tries to lift his arm, but is unable to do so. You look across him, and everywhere across this individual seems to be signs of very severe burns, almost as if it would be somebody who is, in your medical opinion, standing far too close to a source of like piping hot lava or magma, and is being torn and burnt to ashes himself, being cooked almost.
I might be decent with medicine, but I don't think there's a fix for that.
No, there was a temporary band-aid we gave him, and he points, and you see on Lamont's wrist a bright brass bangle that seems untouched, and it has a rather peculiar pattern of long vines and leaves twisting across it. Because we did everything we could for him, but he needed to carry this burden. No one else could be asked to do it. I won't ask anyone else to do it, but I need someone to do it. If Lamont cannot carry this burden any further, one of you needs to take it up. We must succeed here, lest we lose everything.
I'll do it.
He turns and looks at you.
Actually, I would prefer to.
He looks to the both of you and he goes, "It's not up to me. I can't force this upon you. Lamont knew, in part, what he was signing on for."
You sure about this, Velto? I mean, you're...
Quote, the powers that this comes from, source from Ardnum, are very close in nature to that of which I study. I believe that this would be more than just a test on your body, but also your mind. And as such, I believe I may be the most suited for it.
Alright, I mean... If you need someone to take the burden off you at any point, let me know. I mean, I'm more than willing to share it.
Thank you, Sam.
Thought his name was...
You're welcome, Mr. Frodo. You're welcome, Mr. Frodo.
Oh my God.
I mean, that's what Lamont's been this whole time.
All right. So, who's grabbing, or who's volunteering, I should say?
I'll go for it.
All right. You tell the Lord that you'd be the one to do it. He looks you over and he goes, "Well, blessings of the triumvirate upon ye. Blessings of the old and the new. Those beyond the boundary and still here on our side. May mercy find yourself a long rest when all this is over. I'd recommend it, and I'm sorry to say it, but you need to remove that bangle from Mr. Lamont. I don't think you'd survive much without the ability to sustain yourself."
I will go down to do that, and I will thank you, Lamont, for your service.
You see Lamont kind of like try to like reach his like weary hand up, and he feels this kind of like grumbling, like coughing sound, and he's like, "It's okay." Because he knew.
I mean, I can't understand what you're saying, so...
Yeah, it's fine. It's completely fine. It's mostly just a raspy voice. Yeah. But you get the feeling that he's trying to tell you it's going to be okay.
Yeah. I'll remove it from him.
Okay. You find a clasp on the inner side of his wrist for the bangle. You click it off to the side, and you feel a surge of kind of almost druidic in nature, this kind of natural energy disperse and become separated from its connection. As soon as you kind of heft it, you feel the bangle come loose at the back, and as you release his wrist, you feel a surge of heat emanate off of the flesh of Lamont. Whatever this bangle was able to do, it begins to loosen its hold on Lamont, and you can see the gnome kind of sit there, twist, and slowly, like ashes from the end of a cigarette, you can see him curl in on himself, and slowly his body becomes nothing more than a pile of cinders. His clothes catch fire as if against the lake of the river Styx itself, and begin to burn away. You see his backpack, this old leather bit and strap that he's had on since the first time you met him. It begins to kind of crest and burn, and you can see as this few parting moments of him, what's left of there, you can see he tries to force a smile at the very end before he blows away almost with whatever standing wind exists in this tunnel. And you see sat before you a chunk, a piece of stone with lines across it, these veins of unknowable. At first, is it ore or is it some type of crystalline element? You're not quite sure, but it pulses and radiates, and you see this heavy weighted stone about the size of a child's head sat among the piles of the ashes and radiating an unknown light. He goes, "Clasp yourself in the protection of that bangle and take the founding stone in your hands. Keep it safe, keep it hidden, keep it to yourself, and know that it is your burden and your honor to do so." You,
Yes.
JJ, being that you speak Dwarven, you hear the Lord actually mutter a prayer of heroes in Dwarven for Lamont.
So I will put the clasp on.
Okay, you put the clasp on. You can feel kind of a surge of energy rush through you from just having it on. In 6 seconds, you heal 5 hit points. In 6 more seconds, you heal 5 more. In 6 more seconds, you heal another 5 until you are fully healed. And you can feel a number of your cuts and scrapes and bruises and breaks all begin to slowly heal themselves, but rapidly doing so, almost as if your body is regenerating itself.
The exhaustion and poison?
Still there.
Okay. That is quite a powerful thing to try and combat quite a powerful thing.
The investment we have here is something I hope you never have to experience yourself, lass.
Well, this should be educational if I survive. I will take up the stone.
Okay. Bucky, what do you want to do?
He's gonna scoop Lamont's ashes into a little leather pouch.
Alright.
Say he deserves something better than this tube full of shit.
And the dwarves all kind of like nod and agree. Anyone else before she picks up the stone? Colt?
Is the axe around that I gave him?
You look at it, and there is the head of a metal... Actually, no, there isn't, because he threw it. He threw it at a troll.
Oh,
He
damn
winged it at a troll.
Of course he did.
He's very brave.
Actually, that was at one of the wolves way back when.
Oh, yeah, he threw it at the wolf. That's right. My apologies.
That and my dagger are long gone.
Way gone.
Is that ring still around that was illusionary or whatever?
Orville has it in his hand.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, I got nothing.
Depression.
Just the memories of him.
Depending upon how quickly this affects me, I might need that.
All right. So, Vel, you reach for and you pick up the founding stone, right? All right.
Oh, what's going on?
Are we all dead?
Oh,
No, this is just for me.
So, Vel, You reach for the stone. As soon as your fingers crest upon the surface of this porous material, this lighting, this glowing rock, you feel a surge of energy pour from your fingertips, boundless things far beyond your understanding, beyond what you would even expect to see in something as you would consider a relic. The world falls black around you. You see flashes of images run through your head. Men, women, soldiers, peasants, coming to a calamitous event, all rushing in screams and hushed whispers as one by one their voices are silenced on some unknowable, unimaginable force. You can see 3 glowing souls in the distance, and a flash again, and the scene fades away from you. You can feel heat emanate out, and as the screams rise again into a crescendoing might, you can feel it. The depths of what you assume to only be not knowable heat, but something beyond that even. Hellfire. Something that is unknowable but unmistakable in its nature. You feel it course and pull across the sides of your fingers and rise throughout your body, warming your heart and the very center and core of your being. You can feel the weight of this stone come rolling from your fingers into the palm of your hand. This heft to it, you would expect it to be heavier, but yet something so powerful, something unimaginably strong, something crafted directly by the hands and ingenuity of the realm weavers themselves, now sits within the palm of your hand. And in a flash, your vision slowly begins to return like smoke pouring from the inside of a burning building. Your vision returns to you. I need you to make me an intelligence saving throw.
16.
16. You feel your mind twist and turn. You can feel a burn start from the lower back portion of the base of your spine and crawl up the back of your head. It feels as if your mind is ablaze, both in reality and that within the spectrum of all that you can feel. You take 2 points of sanity damage, and your maximum hit points are reduced by 15.
So we got like 1 hit point now?
I have 7 hit points.
You all watch as what happens in a mere instant feels as if the passing of several days for Vel. You all watch her simply pick the stone up, not knowing the dangers. Your character is unaware of what trauma or what events or what vision she might have seen. But as she holds it in her hand, you can see this energy pulse and course out. Her hand shakes, and there is an uneasiness in her grip. You can see the energy pool from the founding stone into the core and the beds of her nails. The nails begin to curl and peel with a sickening smell. Any hair on her hands begins to roast and fall away like burning ashes and cinders of a slowly catching forest. Lines, dark, red, and seeded, run throughout her veins as if her blood has become napalm and trails across her body. There is a pulse of a faint green energy from the bangle adorned on her wrist. And she stands there, different, changed, but able to hold on. You can see her body illuminating within 5 feet of her, the soft, dull embers of a torch, as her veins and much that makes up her face itself has a faint, ethereal, yet primal glow to it. There is almost a radiation type of effect that is now apparent in her features, and you can actually see the veins traced out across her slender, elven features, now interlaid and interplayed with such a thing. The Lord looks to Vel, looks to the rest of you, and goes, "Well then, Let us be on our way. Are you well, Vel?
As well as I can be bearing such a thing.
As she speaks, you all can hear her voice burnt, as if several years of being a chain smoker has suddenly befallen her. Her vocal cords now thrashed, and there is a gruffness to her voice. And she holds this object in her hand and goes, "Good. Well, if you can walk, let's be on with it. Everyone else, mind your hands and be safe. It would be best, Velothil, that you stow that item so that it might not fall from your grasp. Again, it can be taken willingly, but it cannot be parted with so easily."
And I will put it away in my pouch.
As you put it into your pouch, you feel it weigh heavy in the inside. It kind of, even though you have released it from your grasp, you can still feel it. You can still feel where it's at, and you still know exactly where it is stowed upon your gear and on your body. While you are no longer physically touching the founding stone, there is a connection between you and it, and the heat continues to radiate through you the entire time. Orville, what did you need?
Val, are you gonna with the glow and whatnot? Are you gonna need this ring here?
Does that ring require attunement?
Indeed it does.
We don't have time then.
Right then.
Well, let's be on it. We're losing what little time and what lead we have.
I have that bellowing wolf cloak. I will try and cover myself as best I can to hide the radiation that is me.
The glowing of your veins. Yeah, you guys look it over and you can see these deep red kind of glows that come out of Vel. It's almost as if, again, it's like somebody put a flashlight on the inside of her body and you can see the veins kind of glowing through. With that, the Lord continues to lead, continuing to make sure that Vel is no further away from him than need be. As we have gotten to this far, let's go ahead. We're going to take a break for 10 minutes following the scene. A little bit of a rebreather. We'll be back at 9:25 for everyone who's watching. If you're still with us after this, certainly thank you for hanging out. We'll be back, as I said, 10 minutes, 9:25. We'll see you then. Ciao. So, hey guys, welcome back. Yeah, cool. We went and took a break. We came back. We went from 15 viewers when I went to go get a cookie to 16 viewers. So that's a lot of people. I think we do like 8 viewers or something normally. I don't know how many people who watch this thing. That's crazy. If you're joining us for the first time, the VODs are all down below. We also have a YouTube channel where we edit it. So I cut like half an hour out of every episode, which is all the blah blah. So if it's your first time with us, we play Dungeons & Dragons. We're playing the Second Wake campaign. My name is Kareem Zamir, or other things if you know me. And these are all of my players. Cool, great. Got that all taken care of. So yeah, we have ongoing challenges. Ask about them in chat. Interact with people. Do whatever. We hope you like what we're doing. If you don't, right there. Who cares? Because I'm running a game for 6 people who are awesome. So, meh. We're really just recording it so that I can like look back on it later and look, I did that thing. But anyway, so where we left off is the group is escaping into the tunnels, these kind of rotten areas, having lost the scouts that he had hired. The Lord Sirius Busrund has set to weaving in and out of the tunnels, attempting to find a way back into the underground dwarven city of Iskander, having defeated a member who worked in the Queen's agency. The group moved on, found a way through, and found a path. And now, as they near the city, they suffered a casualty. A member of their adventuring party, someone who had first brought them in to this very moment, collapsed, and was quite helpless under the weight of the burden of which he had entreated himself for the Lord Busrund himself, falling away to ashes and revealing that dear Lamont was unable to continue to, well, persevere at this point. So, at this, we return now. Velithil, you have stowed the founding stone within your backpack. You have looked around, and the rest of you now have seen what has befallen this. Colt, I need you to make me an intelligence saving throw. And Bucky, you as well.
Oh no.
An 11.
An 11. Bucky?
Nat 20, baby.
Nat 20.
Nice.
Bucky, just another day, man. Just another day. You scoop up Lamont's ashes into this leather pouch. Colt, as you watch this, what was once the form of a man that you had a budding and great relationship with, you watch be scraped away like the very mold and dirt that you've seen in this tunnel. Bucky claims him into this pouch, and to you it shakes you to your very foundation. You feel a wave of sadness, kind of too big and too bold to ignore. You take a point of sanity.
I went insane again.
Yes. More crazy, Colt. All right. We will...
Is my laughing thing still happening, or did that go away because I did the thing?
So
Because I
that's
kind of
only...
took care of
It only applies when you're at 0.
Okay.
It's a
All right.
flaw that you have that is when you go crazy.
So now it's back.
Yeah, now you have that moment where it kind of like shakes you to your core and you start kind of weeping unintentionally, uncontrollably. You kind of hold yourself back and like manly military man tears roll down before a large smile crests across the front of your face and a giggle escapes your lips. This echoes through. So we'll do this right now. This is fun. Why not? Oh, you know what? I think the more fun thing is to not know. I'm gonna wait. You're not rolling on a chart where you'll have a heart attack yet. So I'm gonna let you wait. We'll find out. It'll be fun. I'm gonna do it in downtime. Yeah. So with that, you hear the kind of laughing, the small chuckling escape out of Colt's lips. The two Oren brothers look to Colt, and they kind of like think of it for a second, and one of them leans into you, Colt, and goes, "For God's sakes, man, have some fucking respect. State of you."
I'm being respectful. I don't know why you're. Yeah, let's go. Everything's great. Everything's terrible.
Right then, they continue to press on. The group continues on your path for quite some time. A little over half an hour continues to tick away. The burning feeling continues to pulse and intensify. JJ, what's up? You're muted.
Does JJ ever regain consciousness?
Still currently asleep. You're resting. Colt is giggling, holding you over his shoulder, chuckling the whole time. So you continue again for about another half an hour. The Lord stops, looks around, tilts his head up, and many of you who are perceptive can hear kind of the bustling of feet overhead. The tunnel itself still wretched with sludge. The Lord looks up and looks around and goes, "Oh, there's someone above us. There's people above us. Someone bring a torch up here. Let's have a look around, see what we can find."
Bucky will bring his torch up.
You bring your torch up and start kind of peeling it over, and the Lord narrows his eyes. He goes, "Look around. There's got to be a way in or out. That sound's getting in here somehow. It's not sealed."
See if I can find a manhole.
Sure. Go ahead and roll an investigation check. Anyone else who wants to assist may do so.
I'll help anyone who wants to. I'll help Morgan. She's also good at investigating.
All right.
I got a 20.
Okay.
Or
Morgan?
Bucky will just do it.
18.
18. Okay. Bucky, you kind of turn and look and exist out. Morgan, you look and you can see a smaller section of tunnel. At first, you look at it and you're like, "What the hell?" And the wall looks mushy. But as you walk up to it and pull out one of your knives, and you poke the side of this tunnel, it kind of collapses in on itself, and it's a wall of bile that's been pressed into the pipeline itself. As you kind of cut free from it, you see a small, narrow path that kind of cuts through and seems to get much tighter, but seems to run under the city itself, a little bit more towards what you'd assume to be residential. You can see that there's still dried up and but still kind of that wet smell that exists about a foot high in the small narrow passageway. Bucky, as you look around with your torch, you look up to the ceiling and you can see arise about 20 feet above your head a small outline of a circle, which looks like it might have once been a manhole cover. What do you all want to do?
I'll relay that to the group.
The Lord looks about and goes, "So, what's the call here, Weaver shows? And can someone shimmy themselves up there and get out of this mess? Once we're on the streets, we have some deniability, and we can reach out to contacts."
I suppose I'll climb through again since I'm probably still a mess.
Vel cleans you up.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah, and actually
sorry.
at this time, since we're close to potentially getting into the streets, I'll clean everyone up as best as I can.
While you're walking. You're using what, prestidigitation?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You give me an Arcana check.
10.
10. Okay. You who would be the first person you'd want to clean up after Colt?
Whoever lines up, whatever.
Your
I'll
choice.
just go down the line then, Bucky, I guess.
Bucky, okay. You turn your hand to Bucky and you mutter the incantation for prestidigitation. As you leave your fingers and they kind of shimmer, there is a small pulse of energy that escapes your fingertips, almost unintentionally. A bolt of fire washes over Bucky, burning away the bile and much of the filth that is on him, and singeing his eyebrows and burning at some of the clumped hair that makes up his satyr-like legs. Bucky, you take a blistering 10 points of fire damage from prestidigitation.
Ouchie. Yep. That just ate up all my false life, so it'll be like 2.
There is smoke emanating from the tips of your fingers, Velethil, and as you look there, you can see bone poking out from what was once the front of your hand, before slowly there's a pulse and a familiar druidic energy, and you feel your skin mend itself and weave new flesh and new muscle over your fingertips. Lamont was not a spellcaster, and how curious that was indeed.
Does anyone else want? I'm just going to wait over here.
Yeah, that's probably
Bucky's-
a good idea.
Bucky's gonna say, "What the hell?"
It's cleansing fire. It's good for you. Sorry.
Ye old cleansing fire.
You can smell burning hair probably, so he's gonna mint again.
like a bathroom pod, just it's like the poster child of "I'm trying to make the bathroom smell good." Just mint julep. So yeah, Vel thinks after this journey, Vel thinks better of trying to clean anyone else with prestidigitation at this time. For the rest of you, you stand there with two choices. Try to reach for the 20-foot high up outline of a manhole cover, or follow the path that Morgan has uncovered. Or still continue further down the larger tunnel. You have multiple choices. What do you guys want to do?
Ah, shit, we didn't take the grapple with us.
No, you didn't.
Damn it.
So, this cover, is it cavernous, or is there like a skinny ladder tube sort of hickey do down?
Give me a perception check.
That is a 21.
Your eyes narrow to the edge of the firelight from Bucky's torch and the burst of residual burn that emanates from Vel's fingertips, the soft glow from her skin. You look up to it and you can see, by the outline of this circle on the ceiling, there appears to have at one point been some type of metal tubing that was built into this large pipe that you've been working your way through the entire time. As you look for it, though, it looks like there's probably about 2 rungs right near the top, and then a broken section of metal.
Like, I'm tapped on key points, otherwise I'd try and do some acrobatics and step with the wind it, but that's out of the question.
Is there any water in this tunnel?
Yeah. I mean, it smells of vinegar, but it is technically water.
All right. Shape water and make an ice ladder.
Sure. Is that how it works? That seems cool. I want you to do it.
I don't see why not.
I mean, yeah. I just want to make sure we're not like bending the might and majesty. You move or otherwise change the flow of water. You cause water to form simple shapes and animate in your direction. It lasts for an hour to do it. And then you change the water's color or opacity. You freeze the water, provided there's no creatures in it. So you could shape it into a ladder and then freeze it. And yeah, you would make an ice ladder, right?
Yes.
Well, I know you want it to be right, but I'm asking everyone else who doesn't have a hang in this.
I actually think that this would function correctly. Or wait, no, you can have. So depending upon how many rungs are missing, it's only a 5-foot cube, and it can only have 2 instances going.
Well, it's enough water to. It's enough water to fit inside a 5-foot cube, so that's an assload of water.
Yeah, what we got here?
Yeah, but you're only making rungs within a 5-foot cube. You're not making a cube of frozen water.
Yeah, it says you have to be able to fit the effect within a 5-foot cube.
So you can make a ladder that would be 10 feet tall.
Yeah,
okay. But I can have 2 instances going at the same time, so I can make 20 feet.
10 feet. That's
You just
5
It'd
and
be
5.
5.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
Could we just like make stairs up the side of the wall? Like make a couple of stairs, new instance, bring some more water up, make a couple more stairs.
The thing is it doesn't stay. I don't think it stays magically frozen. Oh no, yeah, it does. Yeah, provided there are no creatures in it, the water unfreezes in 1 hour. Yeah, you're good.
Yeah.
So you could make it, freeze it, recast the spell, make it, freeze it, because it says the changes all last 1 hour. It's 1 action to cast. It's instantaneous, so it's not concentration. Yeah, that all checks out. That's really stupid. Shape water is busted good. I now understand why Critical Role made it such a big deal. Cute. Okay, so you cast it, you shape the water. Your second instance is to freeze the water. You cast it again, you add more water to the top of the thing you just made, and you play Minecraft.
Yeah.
Fucking stupid. Okay, cool. Takes puzzle, rips it up. Fuck, I don't need that shit. Get the fucking puzzle out of here. So yeah, you make 5-foot building blocks and sub-zero your way into a ladder. Orville, if you climb the ladder, you reach the top of the circular mass, and you can see this black tarry substance scrape over the top of this outline. It looks as if there's a thin layer of some type of stone that has seeped through this, almost like concrete that seems to have seeped through the cracks of what would have been this manhole cover.
I'm gonna try and push it up, lift it.
There's no budge. You do feel, as you push your hand in, the thin pieces of stone that are on the underside of this kind of crunch underneath the force of just pushing with your hand and fall down like brittle pieces of clay. And they kind of splash down below you as you hold on to this freezing cold ladder. That's it. That's all I can give you.
All right, I'm gonna hop off kind of the side of the ladder and just like fireman pole down.
Okay.
Relay that information to the group. That it's probably been paved over, and Looks like we're under a street. There's no passage through it.
Want me to try and heat it up?
Hey, yeah, there you go.
I'm not gonna stop you.
Yeah, heating stuff up like you burned
I
Bucky.
don't think I can climb that ladder though. Well, let's test it. I'll put a hand on the rung of the ladder.
You put your hand on the rung of the ladder, and you hear, and water is in your hand as you have melted the first rung.
Ah, that's what I thought.
Why don't we have Orville shimmy back up with a rope?
I can just use Mage Hand and throw it up there.
Yeah, that.
Sure, it's only 20 foot high.
Hold on.
If Vel
Let me touch
the
that
rope,
rope.
Wouldn't it incinerate?
Mm-hmm.
Right,
Well,
so it
Vel,
doesn't seem like this is
you're
it.
living here now.
What?
Guess we live here now.
No,
guys
we
are
can
going
still
up.
follow the other path that Morgan found. Just have to do another way up.
So it's a manhole cover, correct?
How high up is it?
20 foot.
Oh.
It looks like a manhole cover. Now that Orville's broken it, you can see metal. Like
Okay,
very
so
old,
it's-
old metal.
Everything that I do probably has fire related to it, so I'm gonna cast Mage Hand and try to bring it around the bottom of that to undo the casting that's been done. The kind of loosen the concrete.
So you're going to, what? Just so you just cast Mage Hand and throw it up there?
I'm gonna see if my Mage Hand is literally on fire and will cause to weaken it.
Gotcha.
Since my
You
prestidigitation set fire to Bucky.
you cast Mage Hand. There's a pulse, and where you put the Mage Hand, there's a puff of flame that emanates out from it. You can feel energy surge through your arm and tear through very painfully before the band rebuilds much of your skin and flesh that burns away as this energy tries to find an exit from your body. After the initial burst, there is a regular Mage Hand floating. Assumedly, you're not making it on somebody.
We're learning things, yay!
Could I climb up to see to inspect the manhole cover a little more?
Yeah.
A little
You-
closer.
You skip the first rung and then climb up the rest of the rungs. You look it over, and yeah, it looks like there's some kind of dripping stone that has like solidified along the edges and cracks of this manhole cover. But now that the partial part is broken away, you can see that there's like a kind of carved iron underneath it.
Are there any holes in the manhole cover?
You look and you can see
Like
three
tiny.
large holes that have like a drip through them. Almost looks like stony stalactites. Stalagmites? The right one, whatever the right one of those is.
Are they big enough? What diameter are those holes?
You're gonna maybe
Are
look
they
up
big enough
the-
for me to shove a sword into?
I'd assume maybe a dagger or like a small knife. I wouldn't say a sword. I don't think they're as big as a sword. They fit. They are specifically. They're as wide around to fit a crowbar because that's what you're supposed to use.
Okay.
IRL, you make them as big as a crowbar.
So climb back down.
Mhm.
Hey Orville, you still got those hammer and pittons?
I got a few of them left. Yeah.
All right. Can I borrow
Doesn't
some?
Morgan have an actual crowbar?
Hey, Bucky has one too.
Oh,
I don't.
well, that's better.
Someone does.
I have a crowbar. Yes.
The Joker does. Ask Jason Todd.
Where do y'all? I should just start asking for things that I don't know. Do y'all have a table saw too? I mean, do you guys have a plasma cutter? I mean, we might as well just ask those things. If you guys got those things, we
Be
can.
a plasma cutter right now, actually.
My generator's been out of power. I didn't think it was relevant, but I have a whole lightsaber. I just thought my kyber
Yeah, I
crystal
didn't think
broke.
this. I have a satellite phone. I don't know if we need that.
You do have a satellite phone right now, technically.
We technically do.
It makes one call and then runs out of power.
We have yet to use it.
So what do you guys want to do?
Well, I don't mind climbing up and trying to break that stuff apart and trying to climb out the top.
All right.
And what's the plan for getting me up there, by the way?
I guess I can grab you and toss you up or something.
It's going to burn.
Yeah.
I'd
Yes.
love a piggyback ride. Thank you.
What are you doing, Colt?
Bucky, could I grab your crowbar and borrow it for a second? You don't mind?
Absolutely.
All right. So I'll grab the crowbar, climb back up, and then
Okay.
try to chip away some of the stalactite, mites, whatever.
Sure. Give me an acrobatics check. As you wrap your legs around the rungs of the ladder, try to position yourself in a way that you can actually make meaningful damage to this this paved over manhole cover.
$14.
14. You wrap your legs, you catch yourself at the ankles, you pull yourself tight, and you solidify a good position. You start hammering away with a crowbar at this bits of stone that has been poured through, this asphalt that has kind of been developed or over it. You begin kind of hammering through each and every blow. Your strength is what? Score.
Right
total.
now, 17.
17, okay. With hammering blows, you hear doosh, doosh, doosh. Before too long, a few minutes pass. You've broken most of it. The crowbar that you have in your hand is bent back in certain places and very much blunted. Any of these sharp kind of ends are very much torn in pieces, but there's now a collection of stone at the base of this ladder. And as you kind of look it over, you push, and after this few minutes of effort, you can feel a looseness to the top of the cover, as if you've broken something apart.
All right, I'm going to push up as hard as I can.
You
Try to get that.
Slam your shoulder, hit with your arm. Go ahead and give me an athletics check.
23.
I thought it was a high DC, but okay. 23. You drop the crowbar. You kind of put your hand there. You slam. And finally, you hear the stone cracking and breaking. And you heft it up, and you guys can smell fresh air waft into this tunnel. You can see the faint dancing of lights out from the area. You can hear the sounds, these now muffled sounds, kind of enrich the area around you. Civilization on the other side. You slide the manhole cover over to the side, and there's now an exit from this long, laborious journey. It's okay to laugh, Colt. Everything's funny right now.
These gifts in the chat. It's
Oh,
Rita
you
Repulsa
can't look at it. You
popping
can't
out
look
of
at
the hole.
You
It's
can't look
Rita
at it.
Repulsa popping
It's the
out
truth.
of the fucking hole.
Don't spoil it.
So good. All right. Well, I guess people start climbing through. I will try to see what we can figure out for Velville.
So you climb back down the ladder. The
Yeah.
Lord, immediately upon your descension, climbs to the top of the ladder, peeks his head up and looks over, and looks around. He goes, "Ah, we're in luck. Looks like we're underneath an alleyway. Come along. I think I recognize the street. We should be along very quickly. We're not too far from our destination." He climbs and pulls himself out. Both the Oren brothers look to you all and goes, "Mightn't you all be able to get out? Okay? I'll meet you up top."
If you wouldn't mind carrying our friend JJ here up, because I got to figure something out with Velville, and if you guys wouldn't mind doing that, really appreciate it.
Of course, lad. We'll say you owe us one. How's that? Oh, you kind of owe us a couple now. We had some good ideas over there, I think. First 2 rounds are on you. We'll call it Squaresy to carry the heavy rabbit, huh?
Fair enough. Fair enough.
And his brother kind of elbows him. He goes, "Oh, my fucking ribs." He goes, "That was a good idea." He goes, "Hey, don't tell him it's a good idea in front of him, you fucking daft idiot." And he goes and starts climbing up, and the pair of them kind of Heft, and you actually see them kind of climb in tandem on either side of the ladder. Like they sit kind of like the ice climbers, and they move up and down. They're kind of like using JJ as a balancing tool, and they slowly like try to feed her. And as they kind of tilt to try and like angle her through the top of this manhole, you hear a resounding, and JJ's head catches with the edge of it. He goes, "Oh shit! Oh shit!" JJ, go ahead and make me a Constitution saving throw. 2, okay. You are deposited into the small alleyway. You hit, and there's like a trail of blood coming out of the top of your head. As you finally reach fresh air, your body expels the poison that's within it. You come to consciousness at 1 hit point, having nearly died from a concussion. The 2 dwarves climb out. They look at you. They see that you're bleeding from one of your ears, and they go, "Oh, that does not look healthy." "Aye, it does not. You might want to get that checked out, miss. You've been unconscious for quite a while. Been a rather pain in my ass to carry about. But, I suppose we're friends and all." Oh, yeah.
I saved y'all's lives, and she's gonna knock herself on the head real quick.
I'll just end it? Okay, well, JJ kills herself. I can't... Mental health is real, guys.
She'll cure wounds her own head.
Oh, that's way different than what I thought. Just hit her head. I was like, oh god. You cure wounds. Go ahead and roll. I can't deal with it. If I hit myself in the head, I'm like, all right, that's one way to punch the clock, I guess. Go ahead and heal yourself. It'll cure your issues you're having. For everyone else down below, who's staying? Who's going? What are you doing?
Colt, it's probably going to burn. Would you like to have a maggot snack before we go up?
A what?
It's one of these delicious withering maggots. They'll mend you because I'm going to burn you when you touch me.
Oh, I guess.
She holds up a jar with the wiggling worms you had gotten from your undead encounter some time ago.
This is nasty.
You ain't wrong. The maggot goes...
Probably rather eat some of that poo. I think I ate a little bit of it. Not gonna lie.
Probably did.
I swallowed a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I had to breathe, and I was like, head first in it.
Honeycutt Dufresne crawled through 13 miles of unmentionable foulness.
Imagine the stories.
The stories.
All right. I'm gonna hold my nose and then throw it back.
Okay, you throw it back. You feel it wiggle and squirm and tear down your throat with a resounding boop. You feel it hit down, trail your stomach, and crash into the middle of your belly. And you can roll your healing as your body eats this worm and recovers the latent energy that is deposited in it, this necrotic energy that it had stored within its kind of eating of the dead.
What is the healing for it?
3d4.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, they're really good.
They're just real gross. Don't mind me. I'm in a shit.
Well, I mean,
I'm in a
some
shit
of
tunnel
you
eating
need-
maggots.
That's cool.
3?
Yep.
Yep. That's Colt Honeycutt, folks. Da 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 da. Colt.
How was that? How? Just don't waste things on me. If it requires rolling dice, just be like, you'll be fine, Colt.
It wasn't a waste because we don't know how much damage you're going to take trying to carry me up.
Well, we have the same amount of hit points right now.
Hey.
I thought you had 10.
I took 6.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, right.
Mm-hmm.
Ain't no time like the present. Is everyone climbed up?
Morgan,
I
Bucky,
suppose.
Orville. You guys climbing?
Yeah, I'm going.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bucky goes up.
Okay. Bucky climbs up. Morgan climbs up. Orville climbs up. The exit.
All right.
So, you want me to try and get on your back and stay against your cloak and whatnot, so hopefully I don't touch your skin?
Yeah, that's probably a good idea. Don't do any magic stuff.
I am very aware of how amazingly dangerous I am right now. It's delightful and also horrifying and painful.
Well,
Existence is pain.
Lamont, I shook hands with Lamont. You shouldn't burn me. Yeah, you shouldn't burn me.
Lamont wasn't.
I'm just gonna put my hand right on her shoulder.
You put
Just
your
leave
hand
it
on her
there.
shoulder, and you feel warmth
Burst into
on her
flames.
shoulder. Yeah, you erupt into fire. No, you put your hand on her shoulder, and it's as warm as like a hot rock would be for warming your pockets, but not uncomfortably so.
Well, I still
Alright.
can't use the ladder, so let's go.
All right, so
Correct.
get on my shoulders or something, piggyback ride. I don't know, one of
Alright.
those things.
You manage to work brother bear style and climb like a mother kangaroo out with your child Vel and deposit her on the street. And you all arrive and you look and you are in a small alleyway. The Lord looks you all over and he goes, "Hoods up if you got them." He pulls them up here. He's like, "If somebody can close that damn manhole, we want to try to imagine that we're just peaceful citizens from here on out. Stow your weapons, hide anything you ain't meant to have, and act natural. For the Lord in the heavens, act natural."
Sir, are goblins natural in these here parts?
You won't need to have any questions if you keep your hood up. Gnomes are rather natural, and you're about the same height, I'd rather.
All right. Orville will don his hood and attempt to tuck his ear into the one cut ear hole.
Just pops out of the side of it. He looks at the rest of you. If you guys want to make yourselves ready, using your cloaks or anything of that sort, you just do as best you can. Is everyone good?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
So I need everyone.
I'm gonna,
Go ahead.
I
Beck.
wanted to dispel my shape water.
Okay.
So I have that back in my pocket.
You hear splashing, and the water kind of clatters down, returning back into a watery form.
I'll throw the manhole cover back over.
You slide it. It lands back into its place. Why did it all cut out? Ooh, Discord cut out. Give me 1 second, folks. Boop. Bam. Discord cut out for everyone. That was weird. Let's see here. Video. Should pop everyone back in. Cool. Can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Good to go?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, we're good.
Switch
You
this.
disappeared for a
Switch
second.
that.
there.
Switch this. Yeah, my Discord decided, hey, now is the best time to reboot. I went, okay.
The stream didn't go down there. Oh yeah, it's just. a
Well,
square.
the stream's in Streamlabs, so that's fine. It's just the video feed.
Yeah.
Oh, I think everyone's frozen. Hold on. There we go. So I got to put it like that, and like this, and like this, and like that, and like this, and like that, and move this, and move that. There we go. All right, we're good? Everyone move? We're good? Okay, good. The joys of technology. They never cease to amaze me. So, I need everyone to please roll. That was crazy. It was all at once. I need everyone to please roll a stealth check.
Could JJ also help Orville a little bit with her disguise kit, real quick?
Sure, go right ahead. Are you're trained in with your disguise kit?
In deception?
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean that you can use
Yeah.
the kit is my thing.
Yes, yes,
Yeah,
I can.
okay. So yeah, easily enough. You can make a disguise for him. It's morely just makeup and like some quick trim while you're here. But Orville, you'll have advantage on this stealth check since you're effectively trying to get an appearance that'll blend in.
Gotcha.
All right, Colt, what did we get?
2.
A 2. Off to a great start. That's what I like to hear.
I got
the-
disadvantage. It's
Yeah,
awesome.
you certainly do.
Oh, that's right. We're still poisoned, right?
Actually, no. Whatever you
Chainmail.
got without, yeah, you got it from chainmail. The rest of you, I apologize. When JJ stopped being poisoned, the rest of you are stopped being poisoned as you're now in fresh air, which
The
removes the effect.
exhaustion will still give it to you if you're exhausted.
The
though.
exhaustion will still give it to you
Oh,
if you got exhausted.
So just straight roll then?
Yeah, if you have advantage. Bucky, what'd you get?
I got a 14.
14. Okay. Orville, what do we get?
24.
Holy God. JJ, what do you get?
20.
12.
12. 20, he says. Morgan, what do we get?
19.
19. Okay. I forgot we had a Rogan party. And Vel, what do we get?
6.
6. Okay. So there's that plus 12 plus 14. So that's 3, 9. So divided by 9 people. All right. So as a group, you guys have a passive 14 that you move together as a group. For everyone playing at home, I like to just average the numbers together. I hate the idea of like, we're all stealthy like the Scooby-Doo mystery gang, but one person's wearing plate mail. I think it's really stupid. If everyone's working together to be quiet, it's easy enough to make sure you account for the person in chainmail. That's just my thing. So, in keeping with, you all step out from the alleyway, following the Lord, under the cover of these small cloaks and clothing. You look and you can see a city, a wondrous, bustling city. You can hear the banging of hammers, the arguing of people. You can hear a large bell. Ding, 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 ding. And you look out into the city and you can see 2 large trains, these massive cargoed things rolling atop metal roads. You can hear them screeching, their brakes beginning to pick up and move through the city. You look down the main road as you enter the thoroughfare, and you can hear ding, 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 ding. A heavy box, red, with windows adorned on it, continues to roll through the middle of the street, many passerbys paying it no mind. Several dwarves, several gnomes, a number of dark-skinned Duragar exist within this city. You can see as you look across the area, there is actually a smattering, and as the Lord leads you through this marvel of invention and design, there are a number of races far beyond that of just dwarf that exist here within Iskandar. It seems as if there are a number of races that have been welcomed into the dwarven capital city and into the courts of the King Under the Wilds. You follow the Lord for several city blocks, being no more than a passing glance to most, some of you being rather tall or more oddly shaped, faint glows of embers still trapped within your flesh. Many people will give you the long, strange eye, but working as a team and trying to blend into society as much as possible, not making any trouble for yourself. You begin to move through this city. You arrive without an issue. You turn the corner, and the Lord invites you to a large kind of opened area. He leads you down. You can see as many of the buildings fall away, a large building crafted into the side of a massive cavernous wall. Heavy steel gates sit at the front of it. He goes, "This is one of my, well, let's call it a summer home. We shan't be disturbed here. It was the nearest point to the extraction that we had intended, so we weren't that far off. Oh, Weavers be praised. Come along. My group should still be inside, awaiting our arrival. I sent word on ahead." He walks forward, and you can see these large steel gates kind of standing closed. And he looks around, and he looks to his side and his left. You hear him kind of mutter something out under his breath before turning. And he goes, "Trinster, I know you're here. Open the fucking gate. I've arrived. You should greet me as such." You hear, from seemingly nowhere, echoing out, you hear, "Now how exactly am I to know that you are who you say you are?" It goes, "I am Lord Sirius Busrund, and I'll not be questioned by a golden beard boy such as yourself." He goes, "Yeah, shit-eating old man. Fine then. See yourself inside. Your specialists are already arrived." He goes, "Good on you, lad. You'll make your father proud under the bannerman of the Busrun clan. Surviving, providing we're surviving any of this. We'll see about that, old man." He goes, "A good lad." You watch as the clasp that holds the 2 gates closed at the front of the property swings open, almost unseemly. And the gate is open wide for you. The Lord leads you on ahead into this old kind of stone home and opens the door. Immediately, as he opens the front doors, you can see a room full of armored and weapon-clad dwarves, many of which turn to you, heavy-drawn crossbows and metallic weapons pointed in your direction. They all seemingly to be quite on edge. The Lord throws his hood back and goes, "My bannermen, my sons and daughters still loyal to the one true king. We've succeeded. The founding stone is in Iskandar. We can rest easy, for now the hard part is truly discerning the rite and ritual for the sun to rise again and the earth to ascend to the heavens." Many of them raise their fists up and cheering. He turns and he beckons you all, come in. You hear a number of them, "Huzzah!" Echo out from here. As you all enter into the manor home, he turns to Vel. "What? Why? Why with this? Who dropped out? Huh? Bucky dropped out. I'm gonna kill Bucky. I'm gonna kill Bucky. Murder, death, kill Bucky. Kill you. Turn your video back on. It's right at the end. What are you doing?" This is called dramatic tension and how we shatter that
sorry.
ceiling.
My internet blinked out for a minute.
Son of a bee. That's fine. Welcome back. I don't know where I missed it, but you'll rewatch it. So he turns and leads you all further into the manor home. He looks to Vel, and he finds a just kind of a blank wall of the home, and he raps his knuckles against it, and he taps 3 times, and you see the wall kind of shake and melt and fall away like sand, and you see a number of gnomes and dwarves stood in heavy coats, these kind of almost like the garb and make of a mixture of both what you'd expect from a smith as well as a scientist, many with very heavy goggles, and in the center of this very well-dressed room, it seems like a medical facility in a sense, there is a number of white dressings and clearances, and in the middle stands a very tall, platinum-clad pedestal with what looks like a crystalline glass case. He looks over, and many of them go, and seem to have an eye of curiosity as one of the gnomes walks forward and goes, "Lord Busfrund, where is Lamont?" He goes, The weight was too heavy for him. He was unable to finish the journey, but the elf has done the final leg of the journey herself." He goes, "So he is no longer with us?" "Yes, indeed. Unfortunately, the burden was too much to bear, and he will be missed terribly. His family, that is a conversation for another day." He goes, "It is a shame." And you see this gnomish individual turn and look to you, Vel. He looks you up and down and goes, "You have no claim to what you carry. Is that understood?"
I understand the job I'm doing.
"Very well. Follow me, and we'll rid you of this terrible curse." And he walks into the room, and many of them kind of give birth for you all to kind of get into the room. The Lord follows in. Anyone staying outside of this room, or anything you guys want to do before you follow suit? Nope. All right. You all enter the room and file in. You kind of complete a circle as you see many of these researchers or otherwise stately clad individuals dressed and predominantly prepared for research. The gnome walks forward and begins to unscrew this large crystalline glass topped container. And inside you can see a large flat piece of what looks like a pool of mercury that stands in the kind of center of this platinum pedestal. And he looks over, tilting the top of the glass container, and he goes, "For this, you must know that what you carry is not your own. We must sever the connection completely, otherwise you'll never be free of its grasp and of its foulness, and what is truly beyond your understanding, elf. Place your hand within the mercury whilst holding the founding stone, and we will rid you of this burden.
Colt, would you be a dear and hold on to a few of the things that I don't want to erupt into fire in case I do?
Yeah, that's fine. By the way, I forgot to mention that no one said that there was a curse, so I'm glad you took this upon yourself. I mean, I don't mean that in a rude way. I can't deal with another curse. I already got like 3 of them on me. And I can't.
Yes, yeah, that's great. I will hand him my spellbook in particular and my other gear that I don't want burning up in case of emergency.
Fair.
Then I will take the stone out and follow instruction.
Right. He tells you, careful now, careful now. He looks to it. He goes, Osmond, come over here, be a lad. Prepare. And you see this, like, kind of, like, larger-looking dwarven man walks forward in his kind of, again, this, like, leather lab coat that he's wearing. He has his goggles down, and you can tell that there is some type of material that is able to shield his eyes, likely what you'd see from a welder or anything of that sort, a kind of a difference of lenses that is able to protect from any intense flashes. He kind of looks forward, he goes, all right then. He goes, let me know whenever you'll be ready, Doctor. He goes, indeed, we'll know. Gentle now, elf. Your hand must reach above the pool of mercury. We will only get a single opportunity at this. Please steady your hand. Go ahead and make a sleight of hand check, Vel, if you're following his instructions.
Disadvantage on everything.
You sure do.
Val, I believe in you. You can have some inspo.
You can have an inspiration dice as she goes, I believe you can do it. Desperately clinging to it.
9.
9. You slowly move your arm over the inside of this platinum case, your hand shaking, the weight of this. You can feel a hiss move through from your fingertips, pooling around. You can feel the bangle at the end of your wrist kind of clatter and shake, continuing to provide this nourishment to your body as whatever you're holding seems almost aware of what is about to happen. You feel an uneasiness, a shake, a tremble that runs through your whole body, and you hear in your mind, wherever this goes, I will find it. Wherever you trap me, I will claim it. Wherever you run, I will find, until what is mine is mine. As you hear this, there's an uneasiness and a tremble that begins to kind of shake across your body. You feel your hand grow weak. The back of your hand tilts and touches the pool of mercury, and you see the mercury react and almost lunge forward, and you hear, "No! No! Do it now!" And you see a dwarf come from your left that you had not seen stood there before, holding a large cleaver, and hefts it down, chopping your arm off at the elbow. It comes free in one single clean cut as you watch the mercury pool up and grasp at the founding stone before the founding stone begins to crackle with energy and fire begins to billow out in a direction. As soon as this happens, you see the gnomish doctor throw the crystalline top down and immediately slide it into screwing place. You watch as a puff of fire erupts into the crystalline top, and the mercury begins to slowly pool down, almost like watching a sinking thing as your arm is consumed by this poisonous mercury, and the founding stone sinks below the surface. A bubble rises to the surface of mercury and puffs out. In doing so, you can see a puff of flame, and for a moment, I need everyone, as you are looking at the scene playing out, you see an image in the fire, a curling skull emanate from the smoke, and 2 massive black curled horns, and the sigil rises from the pooled mercury as if looking across the very nature and soul of each of you. Vel, roll a Constitution saving throw.
Six.
6. Your arm comes free. Blood sprays across the front of this now closed crystalline top. The platinum pedestal is coated in your blood. And you can see as you grow faint and fall, a number of the various doctors, scientists, and researchers rush to your side, many of them pulling out various leather bits and bolts, managing to create a quick tourniquet and throw you to the ground, but you begin to bleed out and hemorrhage. I need you to roll me a death saving throw.
Natural 20!
Okay. As they kind of come to, they cinch the tourniquet. The ends of your veins come dry and drip for the last few times. You gasp as one of them immediately rips the front, the kind of top part of your shirt, and places a long kind of crooked looking device onto the front of your chest. A bolt of energy strikes through you. Your heart continues to beat strongly as this energy courses through you. A few people begin to mutter incantations and words, these healing chants and psalms. And slowly, over the next 10 minutes or so, enough healing is done to you, enough medical expertise is provided to you. They are managing to cauterize the end of your arm, which once held the founding stone. Your blood returns like cooling embers across the pond of a once active volcano. Your skin scarred, marred by several degrees of burns, and forever your body, looks, and appearance are quite different than which they started. But you're alive. And for the rest of you, this leg, or rather, this quest, is completed. You have succeeded in delivering the founding stone to the dwarves of Lord Sirius Busrund and his people in Iskander. And that is where we're going to be stopping for tonight. So, with that, for everyone here, we'll pick up from this spot next week. We are likely probably going to do like on-air downtime, I would suspect, but maybe not. Depends on what the players want to do. And won't get too much into it now. However, I will say this. We are going to do Colt's crazy stuff off screen, so that's going to happen this week. The other stuff I'm going to do right now is we'll actually be picking up post a long rest. I'm going to say that everyone's going to get a chance to get some sleep, get some rest, a well-deserved rest, a hero's welcome, a good feast. We might do the details of something like that in Discord, so we'll keep that in mind. But I, of course, will keep all of our viewers informed of what happens and what transpires. The main thing that I wanted to get to tonight, if we did arrive at Iskander safe, sound, and not a TPK, was we are finally in a safe haven, which means for my campaign, that's when we dole out all the dang experience now. So I have not added it up yet. So if anyone wants to take over talking, just filling time, give me a second so I can type this all up and figure out what the split is, because I didn't want to know in advance and I just have it all written down. So yeah, floor's open for anybody who wants to do it. Give me a second.
So it was about 20 years ago, and we were sitting there.
Anyone but Colt.
Wait, Cole.
Go ahead.
Could you tell us about that lobster tsunami?
Oh, I'm not ready for this, but here we go. So I was there sitting on the beach by my damn self, enjoying a little Mai Tai. And, that's a drink that has a bunch of fruity stuff in it and alcohol. So I was sitting there digging my toes into the sand, getting a little more red in the skin. You know how I do, letting the sun and wind get all up in my hair. And, it was just a normal, perfect day, so I decided I'd take a walk. And, I took a stroll along the beach, and every so often I'd see these little crabs, running around. And one of them tried to clip me at one time, but I stabbed him with my sword, because I don't play around like that. I don't mess around with anything. Don't try to pinch me. I don't like that. So I keep walking, and I see this beautiful lady, and she's just sitting there, and she's trying to beckon me over, but I'm shy, and I'm like, no, ma'am, I can't do this. I appreciate it, but I don't want to come over there. And all of a sudden, out of the blue, this giant whirlwind comes from the ocean, and it's full of crabs and lobsters. And it's just sucking up all the crabs and lobsters from the sea, it seems like. So it's a torrent of red and shells and claws, and it's heading right towards me. So the first thing I did was start to run. I looked behind me, and that lady, she gets sucked into it. She's probably dead. Anyway, so I keep running. I'm running back to where I was camped at, and I mean, I barely made it out of there. I just ran and ran and ran. Needless to say, my beach day was ruined, but I kept the Mai Tai cup. That's my story.
Do you have the Mai Tai cup with you,
Of
Mr.
course I do.
Honeycutt?
It's my favorite souvenir. I'll pull out a Mai Tai cup. The little, it's made of coconut.
Yeah, it's like it's a shoddily made coconut glass. It just has it. Check it out. All right. Surprisingly, we did get through it. For good lord, for the defense of Grimm, for the several different small interactions we had within the village of Grimm, for all of our encounters upon the ferry, for our discussion with the Lord, for our finding out of lore, for our completing of this major quest line, and for succeeding in a number of these various skill challenges, traps, etc. Split 6 ways, 7 at some points, but unfortunately the 7th member will not be leveling up tonight. Bucky's pouch can't level up. But split 6 ways evenly. That brings you each to 3,545 experience each.
We're
That's
almost
total.
level 5.
That's total.
Okay, so not added on to what we had. That's just our new total.
No, that's everything you earned. I don't know what your total is. I don't track that.
Okay,
That's player craft.
We had
545.
16.
3,545.
We had 1650 before.
So
We're at 5,195.
Yep. Yeah, almost level 5.
oof,
Nice.
just shy of 5. Cool. So
51.95.
51. I don't know. That's not a me
Yes.
question.
Yes.
Yep.
I on purpose don't want to know. That way, there's none of that like, oh, well, he intentionally gave this much XP. No, I'm running it off of what I put on here. That will bring most of you to level 4. As we're keeping with it, we're gonna roll hit points. So why don't we do that before we log out for tonight? It'll be the last thing we do. So if you know your hit dice, grab your hit dice and get ready to roll. And then when I call your name, that's when you roll it. If you roll before I call your name, it don't count. And then we're going to re-roll ones. I'm just going to make it a minimum. You can't roll a 1. So the lowest you can get is a 2 on a dice. We'll go from here. So Colt, go ahead and roll your D10 for your 4th level fighter.
Okay. Give me one.
Let's see if you're about to be a range character or not. I like rolling because I'm a big fan of Fire Emblem for everyone playing at home. And I love the idea of like, this is my favorite tank. And then he doesn't get any hit points. And you're just like, man.
A 9.
Oh, 9's pretty good. 9 plus your con mod. That's a really solid get. 1 away from perfect. Pretty good.
13. Nice.
Bucky, what'd you get? Go ahead and roll it. D8.
I rolled a 6.
What do you mean you rolled? I said roll now. You rolled before I rolled.
I just went and typed it in so I would have it done.
No, it's fine. Go ahead. I forgot you don't have dice. Yeah, so 6 it is. Not bad. Higher end. Orville, now you can roll. 2. Orville,
Yeah.
I'm proud of you. Real proud.
Oh, I'm glad. Really
I'm glad. JJ, go ahead and roll. You're a D8 for Bard. A 1, so re-roll.
7.
7. Okay, that's a good start. Morgan, now you may roll your D8 for your rogueness.
A 5.
A 5. 5 plus your con modifier and hit points. That's a pretty good solid get for a rogue. And Vel, the mightiest of D6s.
3.
3. There we go. So you've rolled hit points. We've moved on. We've hit level 4. We are at a slow stopping point for the evening. For everyone who hung out with us, certainly. Hope you guys had a fun night. Like everything, etc., 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 etc. All that stuff. I'm going to hopefully, fingers crossed, maybe. Oh, White Whiskey Gamer. We'll talk about that in a second. That's not for you to know yet. With that, we thank you guys for joining us. I'm going to try to have this VOD. It's going to be available right away for the VOD on Twitch or whatever have you. I should have it down this week before Christmas for review on what's it called? YouTube. There we go. The link to the YouTube is down in the doobly-doo. So yeah, simple as a simple does. We'll do that there. I hope everyone has a very happy holiday, whether you're celebrating Christmas, if you just finished celebrating Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, if you've got the great tentacle monster in the sky to do, whatever you want to do. I was told by a buddy of mine that it's always important to raid. I don't understand it at all, but I'm going to do it. So if you don't like it, you don't have to go. But I'm going to type it in here. Apparently it's also the way to end stuff. And so let's do that, and that, and this, and this. I think you just have to do it like that, right? Nope, okay. Oh, I don't know how to do this. Why did I choose to do this? There we go. Hey, there we go. So Slices and Dices is a buddy of mine from an artist server. They're pretty cool people. You might like them. They play D&D too. They are playing, what's it called? Dungeon of the Mad Mage. So they're playing like a pre-written with a little bit of more whoof. They might have switched it up though, but they're cool people. So for everyone who tuned in, have a great night, guys. We will see you next time. Same bat time, same bat place.